I was doing it. Okay.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me. 1 second. 1 second. I had to go back and redo it.
He has to mentally prepare himself.
Hold on. Hold on. Yeet.
What the fuck is going on?
He's taking a shit for all the Fortnite. Fuck, I can't speak.
I was fucking cooking when I got the call.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Weedy Hut Jr. This is this guy named Velocity. This is Matt. That's we got two Matts. We have one whose name is Matt Goard. One Matt Wong. He's super sexy. I don't give a fuck. We have Justin, the guy who looks like my brother, who's a very transvestite. Lawman Machinima's the fucking whore, and Megalodon the shark horny bitch.
Excuse me.
Okay, well that happened. Should we give ourselves real introductions now?
Dad.
Okay.
Get your ass in here.
Hello everyone. I'm JustinD.G. I'm the guy who's supposed to be.
Shut the fuck up. No one cares about your gender.
That wasn't what I was talking about.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm JustinD.G. I was supposed to be here in the other podcast, but I'm lazy.
Yep.
So someone else.
Fat.
Shut up. Someone else go before I scream.
I'm Megalodon back again for the next
seventh episode.
Seventh episode in a row. Haven't missed one at all. So...
Welcome to the IG podcast.
What's the point? Something out.
And then there's good old Matt Wong.
I'm Matt Wong. I'm a cinema director and voice actor for.
And you've been in the last 4 podcasts.
Yeah, actually, I have.
Has the
I've been
most
here a lot.
recognizable voice in this fucking community.
Thanks, man. Thanks for saying that.
And then Velocity.
Hello. This is my first podcast. I'm a little bit camera shy. Can I just go back to the bathroom so I can stay there alone and die in a hole? Yes, that took a dark turn.
I mean, we're not gonna tell you to do it, but we won't stop you.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but yeah, this is my first.
just it's not that weird. Just stay. We're just talking.
Yeah, I know.
And there's also Lawman.
Lawman, say hi.
Nobody loves me.
He's the little dipper.
So, this is also the first podcast where I actually have a new face.
Yeah.
Matt Wong's
face.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I thought it was gonna be a face reveal.
Hey, look, I also have a new face. I am Velocity's deformed brother.
And I am a brown version of Matt.
That sounds very bad.
Nope. We're not going into that one anymore.
But yeah,
That's not racist. Though.
so if you can't tell, if you guys can't tell by the 4 beautiful icons that the 2 Matts, Mega and Lawman, are rocking, Matt Wong over here is a great artist, and he made these people these things.
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
I
for
didn't.
to life, even though nobody loves me.
The funny thing is, he could have just given you a cowboy hat, and you could have just wing it from there.
Should have given him a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, just drawn a mustache on the helmet or something.
Well, he gave sunglasses by Elite.
That's what it looked like on the picture. If you look at the picture you sent me, actually.
Yeah, it does, but it actually just
you actually can't really see the eyes very well. So I was like, fuck it, let's just do some sort of sunglass type thing.
Which is fitting because my shark has sunglasses.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
It was also non-cat.
Worked so well. And then I just had a very nice galaxy background and put in the back. So it looks really
Okay.
It's basically knowing that you're very high as our shark.
Mm-hmm.
Put
He's
a
always
fucking
high.
laser on your head. Okay. So I know we have a lot of Matt Wong audiobooks planned ahead for the podcast.
Yes.
And small stories.
So before we get into that, I have 2 stories involving the production of my series that I'd like to talk about.
Speak, boy.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up!
I didn't even fucking talk!
Justin is speaking. Shut up.
God damn.
Okay, anyway.
I don't care about your gender.
You can speak now, Justin. You faggot!
This is going great.
Yeah, so far this is
So far it's already X-rated.
So fuck. And now I've just like I've lost all will to live.
Justin, do you want me to go first?
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear what you're gonna say.
I appreciate that, Matt Wong, because no one else does. Mega, go.
I did.
All right.
Okay, well,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Just telling the normies to shut up.
Okay, look. Okay, well, look, because of that thing that just happened, I didn't recollect my thoughts. Mega, you go first, please.
All right. So what I have here is a list of very short but hilarious Steam game reviews because we've found that it's been really funny shit and stuff. And of course, Matt Wong's gonna read some, but I just wanted to go over these ones quickly.
Don't fall out of your chair this time.
I try not to because I literally still have a bruise from that. It hurt so much.
I have no idea.
All right,
what
so
you guys are talking.
these are all different games that have appeared. So all Steam-based games and stuff, and each one has a thing that says "in case you don't get the joke," which just explains, like briefly. So the first one, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This game is so frustrating it made me karate chop my desk once. So here's the review. Things I gave to Counter-Strike: money, time, love. Things Counter-Strike gave me: arthritis, rage, hatred of Russians, Spanish and Russians, broken keyboard, broken mouse, 9 out of 10 ready, server crashes, hard teammates, competitive matches, pez spam, multilingual cursing. I guess that is a good thing. Lag, cheaters, and 64 tick servers. Essentially, Counter-Strike is a greedy woman, but I love her all the time.
Oh my god.
And then there's this one from DayZ. If you don't get the joke, this is one of the most poorly optimized games ever to mankind. Even a locomotive from the 19th century has a better engine than this. There's Duke Nukem Forever. Pro tip: at the start of the game, if it is possible to make Duke crouch in his own jacuzzi and hold his head underwater until he drowns. This is the good ending because it means that you don't have to play the rest of Duke Nukem Forever.
You can smear shit in the walls though. That's fun.
Piss and piss.
Yeah, you can piss and smear shit everywhere. Those mechanics are solid.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Although it calls Master Chief's armor a pussy, so that's kind of the thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Then there's this one for Dying Light. It's like Far Cry and Mirror's Edge got married and then later had a divorce, and Mirror's Edge married Dead Island. They had a baby, but the baby actually belonged to Far Cry, and Mirror's Edge knew that, but Dead Island was all the way. What the bleep is this? It actually says bleep. It's historical. Where are the zombies? And then they had another baby, and this one belonged to Dead Island, and Dead Island found out that Mirror's Edge was lying to him, so Dead Island shot his wife and then himself. So then afterwards, Far Cry's kid and Dead Island's kid had incest, and out popped Dying Light. So yeah, Dying Light is pretty good.
What the fuck?
Then there's one for Fallout 4. I nearly finished making my character. That's literally it.
The joke is in his hours.
It says if you don't get the joke, this game has a character creator that makes it downright impossible to make yourself good looking. So that's the explanation. Like literally, there's an explanation for the joke in case if you don't get it. Here's one for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh boy.
Drove over a hooker and she got stuck on my windshield and we went on an adventure. 10 out of 10.
I like that one. Short and sweet. There's no like fucking elaborate story. It was just, ran over a hooker.
Yeah, Then there's Metal Gear Solid 5. My snake is so solid right now.
Oh, hey, Lawman.
Oh god.
All right, and then I'm just going through some of the best ones and stuff. Rocket League. Exactly like school PE. Nobody ever passes to me and I get yelled at and everyone pushes me around. That's so fucking true on my end. Team Fortress 2. It's alright. Got bored pretty quick.
That's
So,
it.
That's really it. That's it.
I kind of have something for Fallout 4 right over here, and it says here that I have nearly finished making my character.
Yeah, that's the one I just said earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently you weren't paying attention.
All right.
Yeah, we actually talked about it too.
Okay, so all right.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
I'll go over this last one, and then I think turn it over to Wong's stories. So this is one for The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. Okay, so now here okay, so it says, in case you don't get the joke, this game features a lot of rabbits. So here's the review. I'll be honest, this is a good game. Unfortunately for me, I have leporophobia. That is a fear of rabbits, and I can't get past the first village without walking within 20 feet of a rabbit. I almost muster the courage to just shut my eyes and sprint for it. But every time the freaking thing just hops in a random direction for absolutely no reason, I freak and Alt F4 and Alt F4. Not the game's fault, so I'm still recommending it. Edit. A few of you thought it would be funny to PM me pictures of rabbits. I'll have you know I have reported your links to the Steam support for racist, hateful comments. One of you even had the guile to send me a YouTube link of the rabbit scene from Monty Python. I'll have you know there is a special place for disgusting vermin like you in hell.
Oh my god.
That is fucking fantastic.
I got something from Tom Clancy's Division. It's retarded, but the review is this.
All right.
They activated me, a Division agent. In the world's darkest hour, the time had come. I left my wife and my child behind, and I headed for the nightmare that New York City had become.
Oh,
I didn't know if I... Okay. I didn't know if I will ever see them again. And I had my orders. I fought my way through black screens and sound bugs I endured. My mission? Simple. Try on every beanie and scarf in the city.
Oh god.
It's fucking retarded. It's...
All right.
Okay, well I
Matt
think
Wong?
that's it for the short reviews. Let's hear the long ones.
All right, Matt Wong. Read the Steam one first.
Are we doing that, or are we doing Justin's
Is
thing
it-
there?
Wait, hold on. First, isn't Mega still?
We'll do
reading?
Justin's.
No,
after.
that's it. Those were all the good.
Oh.
The rest were shit. I didn't want to read them.
Okay, wait. So are we gonna do my thing now?
Yeah,
I don't know,
actually,
Matt.
yeah,
What do you?
No, yeah, actually, Justin, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm in the middle of production for episode 5 of my series, Academy of Swords, right?
Mhm.
And I've come to realize, holy fuck, I cannot write scripts properly because A, they look like a 4-year-old wrote them, and B, my grammar is terrible. So this is 2 separate stories involving 2 separate voice actors.
Okay.
So with one of them, his name is Monotone Pruss. He voices the character named William in my series, and while he was doing his lines, in the middle of a take, he just stops and he's like, "Justin, that's not how you spell William."
Wait, what did it say? What did it say?
I fucking typed "Will I am."
Funny, that's an actor.
It is. Well, it's not. Well, he's mainly a singer. So the singer before an actor, but yes.
Okay, but look, it gets worse. And then fast forward like 10 more minutes, because by the way, this fucking file he sent me with his lines and takes and bloopers was 45 minutes long, so that was a fun listen through.
Oh my god.
But fast forward like 10 minutes later, he stops again. He's like, "Justin, you fucking with me now? This says like, Will." I don't know how I don't remember how I fucked it up again, but I just remember I fucked it up again.
Okay.
And that's it. He was just like, "Justin, you can't spell." And he was just saying that while recording his lines. Like he would stop mid take and be like, "Justin, what are you doing?" And then, so that's me. That's my problem with grammar in my scripts, right? But another thing, Mega can relate to this because he voice acts in my series. I am fucking terrible at describing what I want the voice actors to do or like how I want their tone to be.
Yes.
See, told you. So this is with the actress for Haruka. Her name's Floral Ninja Chan, right?
Mm-hmm.
While she was doing a launch, she finished one line and then she stopped. She was like, I don't know what you want here. I felt so bad because I'm like, oh my god, I'm these people. I feel I'm just terrible. That's the bottom of the story.
All right.
No, man. I mean, like that. Like, what bothers me is like when you. I don't know. As long as you're like nice about it, like voice actors are usually cool with it. You know, like it doesn't. At least to me.
Yeah, they weren't like serious. They were just like making jokes. Mainly because I treat my voice actors like they're better than me because they are. I don't. So like, I saw your tweet. You said, "What the fuck is it?" Anyway, so I saw Matt Wong's tweet about how machinima voice actors are like usually like taken for granted and like treated pretty badly when they're doing this work for free.
Yeah.
I hate that because A, these people are usually super talented. B, they're doing it for free. And they're lending their talent to your project. They don't deserve to be treated like, oh yeah, they're replaceable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I mean, most of the time I'm fine, but it's just bad when you voice for someone and they'll like straight up insult you or whatever and be like,
oh my god.
Yeah, and they'll be like, I can't believe you're wasting my time. This is an important project or whatever.
So,
it's like a sort of acting like you don't deserve to be like they're doing you a favor or something. Like they're an actual director, and it's just.
So people with big egos, essentially.
People with big egos are hard to work with because they're like. And also, like the weird thing about people with big egos is they often like have really bad direction.
Oh,
like like they don't. First off, they don't do a live session, and then they'll write something in the script.
That's what I do.
Give them a line, which I don't care about that. I mean, like if you write something in the script, I'll just interpret it however I interpret it. But when they go back, it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you even acting? Like, you sound like you're reading it off the page. I need you to emote. And it's like, all of that was useless. That did not help me figure out what you want at all, you know?
You've had experiences like that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking terrible.
Every
time I ask for retakes, I'm like fucking nervous. I'm like, oh my god, am I bothering these people?
Yeah, me too. Like, I'm the same way when I ask other voice actors for because I know how it feels to deal with somebody who's acting like, oh, I'm doing you a favor by being on this project. It's a big deal. I'm the shit, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Mega, have you ever dealt with anything similar?
A lot of times, actually.
Because you're in fucking.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then that's also the thing and stuff is that I haven't encountered it as much anymore, but I used to quite a few times with certain people that I thought I could trust and not really so much. It happened with, I think probably the last time it kind of really happened was when I was trying to get into this Star Wars animated thing that was going on. I can't remember what it was. It was either an audiobook or it was like an SFM thing. And so it was supposed to be a paid project, and I was like, I was on for the for one of the stuff on there, and everyone in the cast was getting paid except for my role because it was considered a minor role. It's just like,
regardless, you
minor.
Regardless, you have to get paid.
Pay for it. And then he tried to come up with the excuse saying, like, no, I did say that the price here is that it would be for nothing and compared to the others. And I actually looked when I auditioned and stuff and even took a screenshot of it to show that he was lying, because there was actually a thing on there and stuff saying like that, yeah, you do get paid for this and all that.
You can sue him.
And I was calling him out on it. due to our project creators, they do not feel comfortable with you being part of this project and stuff. So I just fucking left the.
So
piece
wait,
of
so
shit.
so basically, they tried to get you to work for them as payment.
For free, essentially. And stuff. It's just like fuck you guys. Stuff like I came here to do a paid project. I expect to get fucking paid.
All right, so
Yeah.
I think there was this one thing I should like recommend. So some point in one of the voice acting that I had to do for a certain machinima.
I wonder what that could be.
So it wasn't really voice acting, but it's more of a body acting. One of the directors wanted everyone to like run away and like act and everything. So he didn't really give anyone a warning. He just only said like he just like basically said like, hey, don't get on that scorpion thing or be attached to it whatsoever. And then I was like, okay, so I accidentally did that by accident, and then I get booted off without that one warning. And then so after that, when he invited me again to tell me it was my fucking fault, I recently called him out that it was your fault for not directing properly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it's with body actors too. Like, a lot of directors, they just don't acknowledge that they are not paying people, that people are doing them a favor. So you gotta be nice to people if they're doing favors for you. That's just the bottom line. And a lot of the people who aren't nice, they are just generally really disorganized too. So it's like an extra level of irritation because you see like how mediocre the stuff they do is, and they're acting like they're the fucking machinima messiah or something.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think we all know.
We all know what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
I had there's a story like I was voice acting for somebody, and the thing is that, like with Justin, your William mishap, that's one thing. I've had scripts where it's all misspelled.
Oh no!
Like everything is misspelled, and not put in the correct order or no correct punctuation. It's irritating.
The worst.
I actually want to make a machinima about this, like a whole bunch of like failed takes or something.
Yeah.
Is anybody down to do that with me?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
I mean, I literally had one made about. Interesting.
What?
Like, looking back at my old scripts when I was like, I don't know, like 14 years old until now, I realized I had done so much improved, but my grammar and stuff can suck ass right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and I left it. I forgot to mention this.
Yeah, I helped
William-
Velocity last night with grammar problems.
No, dude, it was so bad that we had to like go through it, and then now we have to like revise the script, and it was so stupid that from here and there the jokes were like really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Goard can go ahead and batch that for me.
Yeah, like there was
Because
one.
we
There was
were in a
one.
call.
I wanted him to put like a certain tone for a character, and I said write down anxious, and he's like, okay, how do you spell anxious? I'm like ANIXIOUS, and he didn't listen to the last part, so he looks it up, and he's like, oh, I did spell it right, and he spells out anxiety. I'm like, dude, it's not that. It's
Dude, it's a messed up. I fucked up.
words.
Okay.
I know, but it's you gotta. I'm laughing with you, bro. But like, so like,
Trust me.
You
don't
know.
want to clip that. I'm laughing at you, bro.
but like,
Oh,
like
God.
at another point, and I said like, oh no, erase that. That's wrong. And he was like, oh okay. And then I said like A-N-I, and then you type it out again saying anxiety, and he's like, I did spell it right. And I'm like, no, you didn't. It's iOS. It's I-U. It's I-O-U-S.
Wait, Matt, did you never tell him that he was spelling a completely different word?
No, I just said like no, that's wrong. That's not anxious. That's anxiety.
You should have.
No, dude, he just like sat there and just like, dude, let's fucking spell it right. What are you doing?
Oh my god.
I did do a little bit of that too.
And then I was
that
like,
sounds like a fun session, to be real.
It does.
it was like, I'm not going to lie, it took us like five pages to write, and it was like the only one fucking zero test episode that we had to do.
Yeah,
Look,
basically what we're doing, this was a plan that we had like 2 years ago. And about a year and a half ago, we stopped talking for personal reasons. And so then he just like texted me up and I asked me like how I was doing. And he said he asked me if I was still interested in that show idea. And I was like, fuck yeah, I am. So like it kind of like I was glad to know that he was still interested in doing it. So we met up in a call last night and we were just kind of talking, and then we kind of bounced off ideas for the show. And the show is called Circumstantial Events, and it's basically a roommate show where it's like two roommates in a house with a little bit of a twist. There is an AI inside the house, and very sassy, and
Yeah.
and it's basically like a whole bunch of like minor little jokes here and there, and like it's also a dramedy. So it's like it's half of the show is drama, half of the show is comedy, and there is just so many jokes that we have that are in the other episodes that we already have written out. And there was one where like they go to an alcoholism and anonymous class.
Oh my god!
So an AA meeting.
An AA meeting, and I think this is probably like one of my favorite scenes in it is that they go to the AA meeting, and they. They go to the AA meeting and they walk up to the door and Velocity's character, which is named Omar, which is also his real name, Omar and Matt, my character, they stand in the front of the door. Omar's like, I don't want to do this. This is fucking stupid. And Matt's like, we have to do it. Otherwise, like we're have to.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
We have to.
So like before this whole entire episode began, like the characters were like this whole entire police station because of their drinking problem, and then the officer gave them a choice to either go to the class or go to jail. My character picked jail because he doesn't want to go to the classes anymore, and it was like all over college again.
And then Matt says like Matt convinces Omar, going like, hey, no, I don't want to go to fucking jail. That's not good on our record. So we go to the thing. Omar's like, I don't fucking like this idea. And like Matt's like, come on, we got to do it. And right when they're about to walk through the door, there's a whole bunch of people screaming their fucking heads off, running out of the door, going like, ah! and then the fucking teacher is running out of the door with a gun, screaming expletives and just angry as shit. And Omar says, so did we pass the class?
Writing for a comedy series is such a relief after coming from like a big project.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
like we were laughing our asses off throughout the entire time we were writing because it was just so fucking
I think the
funny.
most really fucked up thing was episode 5.
Yeah, where we made the joke of like, oh yeah, like your mom died of a very bad illness, and Velocity's character just
This
goes,
is all Matt's idea.
Yeah, it was
this
all
is
Matt.
all Matt's idea.
And so like walks up to Omar, going like, Omar, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your mom has passed away from a nasty illness. And Velocity does.
And the funny joke about the whole entire episode is me doing that, but saying all random shit. But it's gonna be subtitled.
It's gonna be subtitled with like the worst shit. Like he's gonna sound like basically it sounds like this, like, and then like, and so what it sounds like is like he's just blubbering, right? But I'm gonna put a subtitle where it says like, I shoved an action figure up my ass.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
Speaking of this series, so it's being posted on the Future Elements channel, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you guys handling this? Are you guys gonna create all the episodes beforehand and then release them weekly, or are you just gonna release?
Oh no, we're just gonna only like do it whenever we can. To be
We're
honest,
just gonna do it whenever we can,
Oh,
in
so
between
it's-
Colonel Goard and this show.
yeah.
I was just wondering because yeah.
Yeah.
Reasons.
He's interested. If the JustinD.G's he's like, I'm ready.
The most one thing that Matt wanted to do, he wanted to do the 2 Matt's episode. Like that was kind of a thing.
That was Fordo's idea a long time ago, which is Matthew Ackerman, who made Oblivion. He had the idea long ago when we were first talking about the show, and it was just kind of like an inside joke because of the group that we were hanging out with. Me and Velocity were, but that group doesn't exist anymore. And basically,
it's only Dark Zone.
It's the Dark Zone, Dark Times. Fuck those people. Anyway.
Oh my god!
Wow.
So much emotion in that last part.
Oh, you don't know my story. Anyway.
Perhaps after the podcast.
Maybe I don't know. So anyway, Fordo came up with the idea, going like, yeah, what if we got Matt Wong involved?
Oh,
fucking Lawman.
Son of a bitch!
Stop it, Lawman!
I have no use here.
Then,
Lawman, just plug Lawman,
stay,
pitch into
man.
the conversation.
Lawman, you just dip going like, I have no use here. Trey sits here saying nothing, and he's laughing his fucking ass off. Appreciate your life.
We love
Wow,
Trey here,
alright.
and all he does is he giggles at like 2 things we say.
But he fucking loves it. Anyway.
Trey's cool.
So like Fordo came up with the idea, going like, what if you get Matt Wong to like it be introduced to the show? So like there's like three fucking Matts there, like Fordo, and Sit Down and me.
3 Matts.
3 Matts.
Like 3 Stooges.
But anyway, yeah, that's what we have planned. Also, for everyone that hasn't seen the trailer yet, the Colonel Goard Season 2 trailer is out.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
Not gonna lie, I did not know what was happening, but I like the effects, so I'm interested.
I've still got to share that around a bit.
Promotion.
I'm also in it, so have no choice.
So I'm going to ask everybody, like, Velocity, what did you think of the trailer?
To me, I like what you did with the whole entire effects. It seems like you're going to have to add a lot of stories behind it. When I see that one woman there, it kind of has to do with like lost love or something.
No, it's not Lost
Or-
Love.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Well, it's
Well, one of them
something.
One of them were, but like, the other woman was. Wait, there was 3. No, there's 2 women.
The moment when you get confused
Too
by your own
Lawman.
fucking trailer.
Damn it!
There was like there was 2 women. There, Conan popped up, and then Lily popped up, and then Eli popped up, and then Redacted popped up.
I really like I like the trippy artsy vibe I got from watching it.
Yeah, it
Also
was.
like the music choice.
Oh, yeah,
The music choice.
was
The music choice is "The Ending" by Papa Roach.
Mhm.
Fun fact. The song that plays at the ending after the trailer ends is the same song played in reverse.
That is cool.
Fucking love that song. That song's amazing because the song's about like betrayal and like getting over it and like kind of screaming out "fuck you," but like it's
Colonel Goard basically reflecting the themes of Colonel Goard Season 2.
Yeah, pretty much. It's about betrayal. It's about lies. About It's more involved with the characters that are inside the season, and
I'm just really excited for Season 2 because you've said before that you're taking a more personal approach
Yeah.
to this.
Everyone has
characters.
like a more of a personal edge to him. Like Conan's getting a little bit like getting more of an edge. Like he actually is going to be more of a like a placeholder for the series, and like he's going to have much more of a different attitude towards things. And there's also Wash, who's, if you haven't seen Surround Me, spoiler alert, but if you have seen Surround Me, since Wash is dead. But then there's like Eli. Eli is going to be like the thing about Eli is that his armor hasn't changed. Conan's changed a little bit. I know you can't really tell, but his armor changed a little bit because he got promoted and he moved up through the UNSC, and he now holds a prominent role. Eli hasn't changed his armor because it's a euphemism for, or a metaphor, that with Eli, anger keeps you in a dormant stage. You never change as long as you're angry. You just stay there, and you never go anywhere when you're angry. So that's kind of like a metaphor for it. And everyone has like a small little metaphor. They're more like they all have their. They have, what's the word? I can't talk today. They they have. There's something unique with every single person. Basically, there's a metaphor for every single character that's pivotal to the story of season 2. There.
See, I love this. I love hearing about directors who are really passionate about their work, and they could just like go on and on about like a specific character and like what they mean to the story and like why they're there.
Yeah.
I just love hearing about stuff like that. That's why I love like director commentaries and things.
Mm-hmm.
I just love hearing people talk about like, how the final product came to be.
Yeah. And we also did auditions for anybody that didn't know. We also did auditions for Anthony and Silverlight and Alice Kane, who was actually that redacted character, which I didn't know why I needed to redact her fucking name. Anyway, so Alice Kane is still open for the audition, but Silverlight has been casted, and
Pollock has been casted as well.
Anthony's been casted as well.
I got poached.
Yeah, he got poached. But I'm giving him an idea. I'm giving him a character that's going to be actually involved with Successor, which I still need to talk to Matt Wong about.
Yeah, this is going to be like a sort of crossover type thing we're doing with Quad.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Justin doesn't know about this.
No, I do because Quad offered me a role in his series that ties into all. Earlier today.
Okay,
which
cool.
I'm also in Quad series as well. Which, by the way, the series is called Marked for people who might not know.
Yeah, Marked's getting rebooted.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so basically, like for everyone that doesn't know, it's Colonel Goard is becoming much more of a universe staple. So like Colonel Goard is going to be like that the main one that kind of like directs everything else. Like, I mean, like placeholder story because Reach got destroyed and everything, and there's certain character beings that are in Colonel Goard that cross over to other series. Successor is part of the show. It's based during season 1 of Colonel Goard, a little bit before.
I think a little bit before season 1 of
couple
Goard.
months.
Yeah,
and Marked is based 4 years after season 1.
Oh wow.
And then
so is season 2 the farthest in the timeline right now?
Season 4 will be.
Well, I mean at
the moment, yes. Yeah, at the moment, yes. Season 2 is based in 2560. So basically, like Colonel Goard is creating this whole universe that is involving Successor and involving Marked, and they all are connected together. So that's really cool. I really like that. Everyone has their own. Every series has their own set story and have their own set of universe and not universe, but a set of story and characters and whatever's happening in their stories is it's unique to their show. It's just connected to the what Quad calls the Halo Elements timeline.
Yeah,
I could see that.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, my stories are pretty self-contained because it all takes place in an isolated island nobody knows about on Reach.
Oh.
So, more on that. Lawman's gone again.
There's
going to be more on like what exactly is going on in Successor for those of you who actually watch it, which most people don't. But for people who watch it,
and if you haven't seen it, it's also on the since Matt Wong is actually part of FEF. He Successor season 1 is actually as a playlist on the FEF channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get episode 5 out.
I need to watch it again.
I noticed the Successor playlist on the FEF channel, and I was like, "Why is this here?"
I know.
What's that?
We have lots of people connected to FEF. We have Quad,
Yeah.
we have Lawman, we have Megalodon, we have Sit Down, we have me, and we have Trey.
Matt, let me get in.
I just don't.
You want to be part of FEF?
Uh,
You want to be part of FEF?
I'll actually. Yeah. I'll
That means that everything you make has to have my banner on it.
Well, I figured I'd give you. I'd figure I'd give you a
Fucking
specific.
hell, Lawman, stop!
I'd figure I'd create a specific series that just be posted to your channel.
Well, if you want to do that too, that's fine.
Yeah, I'd rather do that. I don't think you want Academy of Swords on your channel.
No.
Maybe not.
Well,
maybe
in
I'll
your
disapprove.
defense, Successor, especially the earlier episodes, is pretty fucking bad.
Well, I feel like what I would say no to for Justin is mainly the machinima stuff.
My main style of machinima is very different, so it would clash with yours.
Well, if you want to, so that means that if Justin, do you want to? Okay, so basically, there's two options for you.
I am serious that I would like to create a series for FEF.
Sure. Well, there's two options for you. One, you can be a joint project where you still have your channel. You can still upload on your channel that doesn't have to be affected with FEF. Or you can be a full FEF member where, like, everything that you want to post can be on FEF if you want to be.
We should discuss this.
We
out
should.
of the
Yes.
podcast.
We should.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
just saying-
I'm being the CEO once again as I'm rubbing my nipples.
You just
Yeah,
fucking
'cause
like
now-
put on your suit and it's like, all right, so I own you.
Now you make me want to do one too.
Wait,
I'm
do what?
doing the thing where I
Oh, what?
posted on my
Do a show
email
for
account.
FEF?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm rubbing my nipples.
We're building up this what did Quad call it?
It's a network, the Future Elements Network.
Well, I meant more specifically like the.
Oh, you mean-
the,
oh.
the connected
Oh,
universe.
the Halo Elements timeline.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
This is a bit
Awesome.
so
I'm getting more
we'll get-
content for my channel. Anyway,
You guys watching don't need to know about this. Well, you'll hear about.
well,
this.
like I said in the first podcast, welcome to my future, your future, our future.
Yeah, then Mega
Shut the
fucking.
fuck up.
Yeah, then Mega said "fuck" in the middle of your speech.
Yep. But anyway, sorry, we got distracted a little bit. We'll talk more about Machinima as maybe as time goes on. But Matt Wong here has some. It's here's my little jingle for you. It's
we're
Matt.
finally
It's story
getting to
time with Matt Wong.
Cool.
All right.
Wait. I want everyone.
I'm
I want
gonna
everyone.
jingle.
I want everyone to yell. Story time.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Fucking hell, Lawman, stop!
All right.
Lawman,
Three.
annoying
Are you
me.
doing that on
Lawman-
purpose? Or
Lawman.
is that like a connection issue?
Jackass.
It's not a connection issue. It would
Lawman.
make a noise if it did.
Oh.
Lawman, like,
Sorry, it's just the noise.
Lawman,
is pissing me off.
Lawman, we love you. Stay in, please.
That's what she said.
Leave.
Oh my god.
When are we starting story time?
All right, we're just gonna yell it right now.
Fuck!
So,
Fucking hell.
all right.
I'm getting
Oh my
frustrated.
All right. So,
Mega's about to lose his
so
shit.
3, 2. Wait, everyone. So
Please don't
3.
eat me, shark.
So 3, 2, 1, go. Story time.
No one else really yelled it.
No.
Yeah, I actually I
We don't
fucking
matter.
missed it. Oh my god.
All right. Well. Oh well. All right. Matt
we'll,
Wong.
we'll do it in posts. You know, that makes sense.
No, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
And
Post. Fuck it.
here's
yeah, fuck
Matt
it.
Wong reading some really interesting stories.
Headmaster.
All right. Here we go. Everyone.
All right. Where is this?
Talk,
Okay.
talk during the movie. You're fucked. Not in the good way.
People will talk. It's gonna happen. Anyway, Sid Meier's Civilization 5.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Great game, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
50 hours into your latest save, all is going well. Only 3 leaders left: Gandhi, Caesar, and Washington.
Who the fuck
You
is
dropped-
munched on a chip?
Damn it, Lawman!
I'm fucking hungry. I'm sorry. Mute your mic then.
No. Hey, leave him alone. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
God damn it. Okay.
All right.
Sorry. Go on.
Right. Okay. Let's go back a little bit. 3 leaders left: Gandhi, Caesar, and Washington. You draft an endgame plan in your mind. You'll make friends with Gandhi for obvious reasons, because he's chill, and then proceed to befriend Caesar. Then you will take out Washington because he is hard, and did not accept an open border agreement 3,000 years prior. He must pay.
By the way, the hearts are swear words.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was
Okay.
meaning
So
to
now-
tell Mega that when he was doing his reviews, but it.
Oh, that makes sense.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, so-
I didn't want to interrupt, but I feel like now
He's an
it's-
asshole. Yeah, that makes more sense. 20 turns later, all is going to plan. We are now on Washington's doorstep. Gandhi and Caesar appear to love and probably fear your superpower nation. All we need to do is eliminate the pesky Americans with all of our military now that American soil, and now on American soil, this should not take long. Then after the swift invasion of America, we will make a vote for world peace at the UN, in Rome, of course, with our newfound Indian and Roman brethren as a sure win. But all of a sudden, the distant droning of nuclear sirens start.
Oh, hold on, these chips taste like shit.
Damn it, Lawman.
Fuck the wrong brand. God damn it!
It took you like 5 chips to realize this?
You just like you
Hold
eat like
on.
half the bag, and you're like, I don't like these.
I had the really
Eats the entire bag, opens a second bag of the same exact chips. These aren't good.
These aren't good. This is the Bad Batch from Mexico.
Oh god.
But you're
What brand is
interrupting.
this?
You're interrupting. Come on, I want to hear this goes down.
All right. What was I? Where was I?
You were on cursing.
Fuck. All right. Yeah. But all of a sudden, the distant droning of nuclear sirens start. Quickly, they become louder and louder. What the fuck is this? You think to yourself. A false alarm? You shrug it off because maybe Caesar's bombing a city-state. The game pauses. Gandhi appears on the screen. With a sinister grin, he shouts, "War!" in your face. Only seconds after, you see a gut-wrenching sight. The camera focuses on a nuclear submarine stationed just off the coast of your pride and joy, the capital of your glorious nation. You then hear a rumble. Just seconds after, a nuclear warhead emerges from the previously hidden submarine. You realize it's too late. You can only watch as the missile closes in. As your city goes up in a giant cloud, there are short-lived screams from your beloved people, then silence. Before what had just occurred had sunk in, before you could make rescue efforts and save your much-loved citizens, the humming of quiet engines fall upon your ears. Suddenly, countless stealth bombers appear seemingly out of nowhere. Soon the sky is blackened by planes. The game falls almost silent, only the whistle of falling bombs remains. The faint from the shock of what is unfolding.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
the best thing ever.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. You awake shortly after. Gandhi is still flattening with
Why is it
what
so
remains of your
fucking
once
cold in
prosperous
here?
empire.
Stop. Keep going,
Jesus
keep going.
Christ, who... Hold on, someone turn off the fucking heat. I'll be right back.
What the fuck is going on, man?
I don't even know what's going on with
Okay,
them.
I feel like
going.
for all of us, 50% of us are laughing our asses off. The other 50% is kind of annoyed.
Don't worry. I'm one of the people laughing.
I'm sorry, I'm different.
You're not different. You're just being rude.
That's
I'm
what your mom
different
said.
with us.
Some fucker turn off the heat.
Yo, how cold is it over there?
Thanks, Mom.
Mom, give me back my Xbox Live!
Give me back my Xbox
Anyway.
Live.
Xbox Live. Yo, you gotta fuck with my PSN too.
All right, Matt won't continue.
Where was I? Right. So basically, there's some sort of apocalypse happening, and you awake shortly after. Gandhi is still flattening what's remains of your once prosperous empire, now with giant death robots, making the most of his seemingly never-ending turn. As Gandhi clinically and restlessly raises what's left of your broken nation, all you can do is weep. Your people are hacked down in their prime, and your glorious nation, so mighty just minutes before, has all been wiped out in just one turn. Why oh why did you turn off autosave? Did it really speed your game up? Was it worth it? Gandhi is a complete asshole. He acts like your friend, but he will nuke the fuck out of you if even the slightest opportunity presents itself. 10 out of 10.
All right, second story.
It wasn't really as funny as I was.
That was just an interesting story.
This is an interesting story.
Fucking
Yeah,
Gandhi
the funny thing
destroyed
is,
my
the funny
man.
thing is that Gandhi, there was a glitch in Civilization 3, I think it was, and
Oh yeah, where he would fucking nuke people.
yeah, we were fucking nuke people, and it was a really bad glitch. And then they decided to keep that glitch and make it an irony type of aspect of Gandhi, and so they added it in every single game after which.
I was playing this really bad console version of Civilization.
Oh,
2
Revolution.
years ago. Yeah, still
It
fun,
wasn't
but
bad.
No, it's good, but it's nothing compared to the PC games.
No, nothing else.
Anyway, so I was playing it, right, and I was having my time. I was going for a scientific victory, on a war victory. So fucking the Chinese leader Mao was like, "Oh hey, we're at war now." I'm like, "Fuck, okay," and then I get fucking nuked. He nuked my capital.
Oh my god. Wait, from Mao?
Yes.
Well, of course Mao would. He's a communist fuck.
I didn't.
He killed 60 million people.
Well, fuck. You've added my fucking civilization capital, which is named Dong.
What?
Velocity, where are you?
I'm at my house.
How the fuck do you hear all this?
I don't know. Outside of my fucking room.
Okay. How long have you been recording?
I don't know.
Probably a while.
Close
Yeah, it
to
feels
an
like a while.
All right, Matt Wong. There's a second. There, you have 2 more stories there.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another Civilization 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I am the peaceful nation of the Celts. We shall be the nation of religion and of diplomacy. This went well. We ended up next to the Babylonians, and we expanded nicely in peace. However, I've always believed in dibs, so I placed down Glasgow on the land between us to provide a little buffer. They seemed a little annoyed by this. Few warriors glared at us from across our borders for a few hundred years, but otherwise nothing too bad happened. In order to spread our religion further, because we were known for our Confucian beliefs, which helped us grow our borders and spread our religion faster, we began to invest in boats. Soon we covered the oceans in missionaries, inquisitors, and warriors to help defend our religious allies. Babylon was making friends with a local city-state, Genoa. However, they were trying to spread what the hell is that? Zoroastrianism to those heathens. Despite our religions being known for their peace, we passive-aggressively sent missionary and inquisitors to Genoa. Over the course of about 700 years, we had probably burned a few thousand people for swapping religions. Those same warriors had been given spears now, but they continued to glare at each other. Yeah. Those same warriors had been given spears now, but they continue to glare at each other from across borders. I offered Babylon some sugar for their spice. They wanted my sugar, iron, coal, and all of my money.
Jesus.
And I then asked Germany if they wanted sugar for spice. They accepted. North of me, Rome had begun a war with France. Due to my time of peace and massive amounts of trade, I found myself with a huge amount of money. Every time France and Rome made peace, I knew Rome was beginning to look on my relatively peaceful country with greedy eyes. So I bought and gifted many city-states with my religion and gold. Then I bought and gifted France and Germany with enough money to declare war with Rome. While they fought, my spearmen, now musketmen, continued to glare with Babylon. And we continued our 1,500-year passive-aggressive religious war with Genoa. They said I was spying on them. I said I wouldn't. When my spies returned, I sent them back to Babylon. A squad of five great prophets charged into Babylon, converting left, right, and center. Babylon complained I was being a bit aggressive. I apologized. I then sent more missionaries to Babylon. I had now found every single civilization. We decided to have a United Nations meeting in 1600 AD. I, as the host, gave everyone a single vote, except myself. I gave myself 16, due to my popularity. I declared my religion to be the world religion. Everyone opposed. I listened to their opinions, and then I passed it anyway. When Rome got angry about this, I then paid France to declare war again. When Babylon got angry, I then paid Rome to declare war on them. Many civilians were amazingly happy, hugely more than any other place, but because I was an emperor, they declared me Declus the Terrible. Despite my universal healthcare, happy citizens, peaceful religion, not a single war in my entire history, and massive popularity in the world, my army consisted mostly of my friends. My friends, my city-states, and my musketmen, now Great War Infantry.
The reason why
continued to glare.
The reason why there's a stop. I screenshotted it, and he has to find the word.
Yeah, there's multiple screenshots. So my army consisted of my friends, my city-states, and my musketmen, now Great War Infantry. Continued to glare at Babylonian Great War Infantry after 2,000 plus years. Great duty to my nation. Their descendants shall continue to frown at Babylonians until the civilization of the world fall. Eventually, we reached a grand United Nations meeting. I sat on one side of the chamber with my 12 city-state friends, and the other 7 nations glared at me from the other side. I said that the People's Confucian Republican Empire of Scotland was the best nation in the world. They all voted against me. I smiled, and then declared I won anyway. Democracy is overrated. Freedom of religion only applies to my religion. You don't need to be stronger when I'm more popular, and my people are probably more beautiful. And if you don't like me, I'll pay your best friend to backstab you. Though this, I came to understand American foreign policy. Through this, oh god. Through this, I came to understand American foreign policy. So civilizations, if nothing else, is an educational tool.
That wasn't funny. That was just a man.
This was fucking boring. No.
That was a man delving.
That was a man. Yeah.
Yeah, these are like psychological education things, and that
note to self: read reviews before send them.
Yeah, at least mine were fucking funny. Even.
All right.
Well.
All right. Well, read.
Should we read the next one?
Yes, read the next one. Yeah, read the next one. It actually came from.
If it's not funny, then I got something.
It actually came from a funny Amazon review site.
Okay.
Well, clearly not that funny.
Damn,
no,
Megan's
the
really
Steam.
hurt by these.
No, the Steam ones I actually searched for myself, which shows I have a lack of suits.
Okay, so this next one's from Amazon.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Amazon pepper spray defense technology.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. I casually used this product to try and disperse a small band of non-violent campers who had locked their arms together. Although initially it seemed to be effective, it took 2 applications. The worst part is, the next day, they multiplied exponentially. Now what? One positive outcome, I did receive paid vacation for my efforts.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
The review is saying that they sprayed themselves in the face twice.
Oh.
Now it's funny. Okay, fuck me.
We can... All right. Okay. How about this?
Well, that happened.
There's one more.
Wait, what? There's another.
There's one more.
All right.
I'll admit it. Oh wait, this is JL421 Badonkadonk Land Cruiser tank. Whatever the hell that.
Okay.
I'm so fucking immature.
Badonkadonk.
Donkadonk.
Donkadonk. All right. I'll admit it. Shopping for a personal tank can be a bit daunting. Many times in the past, I've purchased overpriced so-called battle tanks, then driven them into battle only to be wrecked in 10 minutes by the first blow off some insurgent's homemade mortar. But not this baby. No way. This tank rocks. Literally, the 400-watt sound system keeps me rocking like a crazy man as I'm dishing out justice. Commando style. Wow, I just can't say enough, and the kids love it. Imagine the look of terror on the eyes of the enemy as I'm dropping off my kids' team to their soccer game. Shock and awe, my friends. Shock and fucking awe. I had NAO install optimal GPS-guided phosphorus missile system. And talk about sweet burn. Oh, and it also has plenty of room for groceries. And if you need to, like, move a love seat or something, it'll fit if you use like a bungee cord. The only negative thing with this tank is it only shows up on the radar a little bit more than I like. Although there's a polyresin graphite stealth model available. Also, that included spare if it isn't full size. Overall, great tank.
Okay, that was okay.
I feel like we captured a lightning in the bottle with the fucking...
With the first one we did, that was
Crusader Kings.
Well, that and the freaking taser.
The taser and the fucking hair move.
The gummy bears.
Yeah.
Those were both in the same episode, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they were. All of those were in the same episode.
Mega, stop reviewing films and start reviewing other people's reviews.
Yeah, just be like, wasn't that funny?
All right. Well, okay. So while during the second boring review and stuff like that, I actually did I was looking through some Reddit posts in case if we wanted to read some out, and I think I found one of the best ones. This is called r/murdered by words. Have you guys ever heard of this?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not
so from what I can tell, r/murder by words is basically kind of great comebacks, I guess you could say, and stuff like so. Like when someone's just being really shitty and stuff like that, or just like something happens and stuff. These are like a collection of the greatest comebacks and all that.
How many of these
So-
are we gonna read? Because I have something I like to.
Well, I'm gonna read a few just to see kind of how they go and stuff. This first one I was reading, it was pretty fucking good. So it does come with an image, but it's easy to describe. So, okay, so here's the post, and I can imagine this was. So it says this was from Facebook, where this came from. It says, if you have this decal on your car, it says if you have this decal on your car, and I see you, don't be surprised when you get a nice throat punch. The decal says, vaccinate your crotch goblins. So obviously this is an anti-vaxxer who posted this. This is where the murdered by words comes in. So this was the response to that post. That's tough talk from someone whose entire family can be taken out by a rusty nail.
Oh my god!
Wait, does no one get that?
I do.
You do, but what about the rest of you?
Huh? I mean, I get
think
it.
everyone else
Yeah.
is zoned out.
Yeah, they just really...
Maybe they just find it funny. That's also possible.
They really did zone it out and stuff.
I didn't get it.
All right. Okay. How about this one? This one's a bit of a. This one sounds fun. So this is okay. So man absolutely obliterated this supposed nice guy on Facebook. So we know about the whole nice guy thing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just
White
those
knight.
guys who just like try to take
The
advantage
hipsters.
of you. Like, yeah.
Fucking.
Okay, that's a good one. So this is basically someone's response to a nice guy on Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna explain why women don't like nice guys. It's not women like assholes instead of nice guys. It's women that are attracted to an actual personality traits, and nice is not one. Not really. Nice just means not an asshole. People aren't attracted to nice because it doesn't mean anything. People are attracted to funny, witty, sweet, thoughtful, compassionate, interesting. Nice isn't a personality trait. It's a default setting, the bare fucking minimum. If all you bring to the table is nice, you're fucking boring. And if you have to tell people you're nice, you're probably not as nice as you think you are. For example, if you think women owe you sex over someone else because of your perceived niceness, you're a giant bag of dicks. Then
I would like someone to clip that whole thing and just play it off like Mega was being serious.
Yeah.
and yeah, there's like there's quite some interesting ones here. A lot of the about the the freaking like anti-vaxxer stuff. But while I'm looking through them, what did you want to share, Justin?
Oh no, I was just gonna ask people for a bunch of stories because I realized we haven't really had we haven't got like fucking everyone talking in a second. Wow.
Yeah. I could actually look for scary stories if we wanted to do that.
Ooh, wait. Hold on.
Wait.
Hold your dicks.
Okay, wait. Okay,
All right.
so we've all been in the community for a while as established. Well, I haven't, but you guys have. What's like a really cringy machinima experience? Give me anything.
Oh wait, didn't we? No, we did that in the first podcast. Actually, I
Oh,
think
fuck, did we?
we did. Yeah, we did.
I know I did it. I know I did both bad and good experiences. But
Yeah, I told mine about the one time I was in the Rots thing, and there was the racist British kid.
well, yeah, but that's no. I'm like seeing like more of like cringy shit.
Well, to me, that was
I-
cringy.
So I found a creepypasta.
No.
I did
Wait,
too,
no,
but okay, let's
Find-
hear
find a
yours
bad
first.
stuff.
All right, here we go. Here's the title. I'm gonna read this one, and I'm gonna try to do this right. All right.
Oh,
It's getting real hyped up.
All right.
All right, you got this. You got
My
this.
son committed suicide. My wife
Oh, wow.
blames me.
Oh,
I've never posted like this before, but I suppose I've never needed to. If you've read the title, you know what to expect, and you can move on if you'd like to avoid the topic. I'll understand. Grief is a funny thing. Professor Farina taught me that in the first class I ever took for my undergrad, I never understood it until now. For my wife, it's turning into unreasoning anger. She's downstairs right now, no doubt cursing my name. For me, it seems to have manifested in needing to keep myself busy, but I've run out of piles to organize and surfaces to clean. And so I've come here to write down the whole story of my son's life. I apologize in advance for rambling, but it's all so fresh and raw right now that I need to work myself up to the actual event. My greatest failure. My idol, Skinner, once said, "A failure is not always a mistake. It may simply be the best one can do under the circumstances." But I feel I have made a great many mistakes. When my son was born, it was like I finally found my calling. Yes, I had jobs before, even what I thought was a respectable and long-term career. But nothing had ever captured my interest. Nothing had ever engaged my waking and sleeping mind like that tiny cherubic face. We'd planned to leave Isaac with her parents 4 days a week so that she could soon resume her job and I could continue mine without interruption. But a week of paternity leave was far too short for me, and so I decided that we could forego some of the creature comforts that 2 incomes would allow. I decided to become a stay-at-home dad. The university wasn't too thrilled about losing a tenured-track professor, but I was adamant. I'd finish out the semester, and that would be the end of my career in academia. Did it sting a little bit to abandon my hard-earned degree and former dream job? Of course. But it was the pain of trading a rare treasure for a unique one. Many people have degrees in psychology. Many people hold professorships. But Isaac was one of a kind. Let someone else be the next James Olds. I had found a higher purpose. It proved to be a good thing that I had convinced my wife to let me stay home. Isaac proved to have a challenging childhood, and he needed a guiding hand. As a newborn, he had been cherubic. As an infant and toddler, he proved rather less agreeable. Years of studying and even teaching human development classes had not prepared me as thoroughly as I had expected. There were days I wondered whether or not I was fit to be a parent, and I'll admit now that in my heart of hearts, there were days when I regretted my choice to leave my job. Only for short bursts and always followed by the deepest regret, but there it is. The pure and unvarnished truth. I was not, a perfect father. When I had just about reached my breaking point, when the thought of another day of tantrums and diapers and bone-deep weariness was too much to bear, Isaac turned a behavioral corner. It came right after a terrible fright, the only real injury he ever suffered in his life. His mother always thought that when he fell and bumped his head so hard, he needed stitches. It must have knocked something loose. I didn't think it was quite so drastic as that, but there was a marked improvement from that day forward. And although I could never have stayed mad at him for long, I was even more lenient as long as he had the hangdog look and those bruised eyes. In fact, having been afraid for even a moment of losing him, I could hardly bear to discipline him at all. Luckily, I rarely had any call to do so, as the terrible twos faded into memory. Isaac grew into the model child. His tantrums disappeared, and the willful and stubborn young boy became as tractable as any parent could hope. He ate his vegetables, he cleaned his room, he put away his toys, and he made my life as a father an endless parade of delight. Seeing his bright smile first thing in the morning never failed to bring an answering smile to my face. I was worried, I'll admit, that he would change as he grew older and went to school. My wife called me a mother hen, half teasing and half exasperated with my worrying. After a year of public school, though, she began to agree with me. Our well-behaved son was in danger of reverting into the little hellion who had so exhausted us years prior. I don't know why she worried about it. After all, I had more than a little experience in education myself and was perfectly qualified to homeschool. I think perhaps she thought that his emotional and social growth would be stunted if we pulled him from the public school system. It was not. If anything, he flourished even more as a home student than he had in the years prior to formal schooling. I made sure to bring him often to... Are you okay over there? You getting bored?
Yes.
It's a fucking scary story.
Why are we reading scary stories on a podcast?
Because I suggested it.
He suggested it.
And
Anyway.
I actually do find this interesting.
All right.
I know, but like, never mind. I'll keep my opinions.
I have one about an animal afterward.
Okay.
After this, but I want to hear this. I want to hear how this ends.
I made sure to bring him often to homeschool groups and social gatherings and tried to let him maintain those friends he had developed in his year in the system. And in terms of scholarship, he excelled. It was soon obvious to me that Isaac was gifted and that those gifts would have been squandered in a formal classroom. Seeing how much he enjoyed learning warmed my educator's heart. While other children tolerated school and lived for cartoons and video games and reckless play, my boy loved nothing so much as sitting and reading, exploring whole universes with the same eagerness as some children explore dirty puddles and dangerous forests. And not just mindless novels or frivolous adventure stories. He read books of history, of poetry, of science. Isaac enjoyed learning for learning's sake. He was everything I had ever hoped to find in a student, and I cannot express how glad I was that such a student could be crafted from my own flesh and blood. As the years wore on, my son continued to develop into exactly the man I had hoped he would be. He never drank, never smoked, never tried drugs, and only very rarely rebelled at all. A few times staying out after curfew, a brief dalliance with a local girl. Of course, a little youthful rebellion is a normal thing, and I tolerated as a necessary price for him to have a well-adjusted adolescence. My wife and I would listen with horror to the stories of our friends told of their own screaming fights with hormone-filled teenagers with children who had become strangers to them, and nod with feigned sympathy. More than once, on the ride home from whatever dinner or gathering we'd been to, she would return to me and say simply, "We are very, very blessed." When Isaac was beginning to think about college, he initially considered working towards a psychology degree. I was unenthusiastic about the idea, and he noticed. I know that he considered it a high form of compliment to want to follow in my footsteps, and I took it as such. But I told him frankly that I had found my degree to be so much of wasted time, and that it was a meaningless piece of paper, and that he would be better served working at a McDonald's, where at least they'd teach him a few employable skills. He took it as well as could it be expected, and threw himself into a physics degree with a gusto. My wife was surprised that he had stayed at a local college when he had so many offers from prestigious schools all around the world, but I explained the logic in it to her. Why spend all that money to go to another part of the world and be so busy with schoolwork that he wouldn't be able to enjoy it? Better to stay at home, save some money, and go on a well-earned trip around the world when the degree was earned. Even if his field of study was not my own, he continued to echo my life in every way that counted. A brilliant scholar who reached the top of his class early and stayed there for all 4 years. He earned distinctions and accolades the way that lesser students earned demerits and police reports. By the time he was done with his junior year, he had all of the subject area credits he needed to graduate and had taken most of the available electives besides. Maybe that was the cause. Could it be that his own enthusiasm, his own overwhelming urge to learn, was the reason for everything that came later? I hope not. Dear God, I hope not. Whether or not it was, my son had his senior year to fill as he saw fit. Maybe it was a lingering thread of his earlier desires. Maybe it was a desire to emulate me still further. Maybe it was a pure accident of fate. A pretty girl mentioning a class that she was taking. A coin flip. A split-second decision. Whatever the reason, he took a psychology elective this spring. A class about substance abuse. By the time I heard about it, it was past the period to drop it easily, and he was unwilling to put a blemish on an otherwise spotless record, and I was unwilling to force the issue. Of course, I tried to convince him, to cajole him, to drop the class, but when he pressed me for reasons why he should bother, I had none to give, so I let the matter rest. I have never made a worse mistake. I heard all about the class for the first few weeks of the semester. For his whole college career, Isaac had been more than happy to spend time with his mother and I, and to regale us with stories from his time at school. We were so proud of him. I was so proud. But in February, something changed. His talks grew shorter and colder, and soon stopped altogether. By early last month, my son seldom left his room while at home. When he did, any conversations we had were stilted and awkward. A wall had grown between us, and I couldn't understand it. My wife dismissed it as senioritis, or a long overdue display of teenage peak. I was not so sure. My boy was perfect. He was beyond such things. She and I agreed that if it continued to pass spring break, the first spring break he had ever spent away from home, we would talk to him about it. We would get our son back, she said, and I believed her. I really thought I could do it, that no matter the problem, I could overcome it. But Isaac never came back from spring break. All that came to us from those sunny southern shores were frantic phone calls, a police report, a cold body, and sealed letters. My wife and I laid him to rest in a small private ceremony a week and a half ago. As I gave the eulogy, I couldn't help but cry about what we had lost. Not just my son as he was, the light of my life, but the man he might have been. After many tears and brutal self-recriminations, my wife and I finally opened the envelopes that are our son's last words to us. The one addressed to me was written for my eyes only, but I'll copy it here for you. The words are too much for me to bear alone. This is getting depressing as shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to.
I'd
rather go into this creepy story.
I kind of want to finish it off. I mean, it would be kind of rude.
Yeah, I guess.
I wasn't even into it before, but now I am. Fuck.
Yeah.
Dad.
Okay, go on.
Here it is. Dad. My first memory of you is a happy one. You're holding me tight, comforting me, stopping my tears, and reassuring me that everything would be okay. That's been my memory of you for basically forever. The one person I could turn to who would make everything okay. The one person who would stand up for me and protect me no matter what. I wanted to be just like you, and you wanted me to be even better. That's why you pushed me, I think. In some twisted way, I think you honestly believed, maybe you even still believe, that everything you did was for my benefit. I know, Dad. I know what you did. Remember how hard you tried to convince me to drop substance abuse? I didn't really question it at the time, even if I didn't understand. I just wasn't raised to question you. But I get it now. The first time we learned about what heroin did for the brain, I was confused, because that pure rush, that pulse-pounding oh fuck yeah euphoria, that sounded too damn familiar. I had it all the time. Every time I cracked open a book, every time I aced a test, every time I cleaned up after myself or mowed the lawn or did what you asked, I got the exact rush that the book described as a result of an incredibly powerful opiate. I thought maybe I was making my own natural responses out to be more intense than they really were, so I looked into it more. And person after person, documentary after documentary, convinced me that I wasn't imagining it. So I thought maybe I was some kind of freak of nature with a really strong neural reward system. Maybe. But a reward system that favored studying and eating healthy as strongly as heroin and sex? That's pretty fucking unlikely. I know you're probably surprised to see me swearing. I'm surprised to be writing it, believe me. That's not how you raised me. The thing is, Dad, I'm trying really damn hard not to care how you raised me. I had a CT scan done, just to check for any abnormalities. And what did they find? No tumor. No overdeveloped pituitary gland. Nothing unusual except for the big goddamn bunch of wires plugged into my brain. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. I called Mom and asked her if I had ever had brain surgery as a kid. I was freaking out, but I wanted to think that I was wrong. That something could explain this. But no, she said. Never. Just some stitches when I fell down as a toddler. That Dad could tell me more about, since he was there. The doctor wanted me to go to the police or to stay so they could run some more tests. I told them I had to think about it, and I did. but I've thought about it now, and I've decided something. I don't know who I am. My whole life, you've been pressing a button and zapping my brain into thinking it was happy. It was happy whenever I did something that made you happy. Clean my room, zap. Wash the dishes, zap. Did my homework, zap. And little by little, you molded me into the perfect little tin soldier of a son. Am I everything you ever wanted, Dad? Am I as perfect as you'd hope I'd be when you shoved this fucking thing in my head? I don't know who I am. I'm your goddamn puppet. You killed whoever I was supposed to be, whoever I should have been. You killed me and replaced me with whoever the hell I am now. No.
What the fuck?
No more. I don't know if I've ever decided anything for myself in my whole fucking life, but I'll decide on this much. When to end it. I hope you burn in hell. So now you see my pain. I dreamed many dreams for my son. I knew he could be anything that he was come of age, but I never thought he'd be ungrateful. Everything he had, all of his success, all the bad choices he avoided, that was because of me. Because there was somebody there to guide him, to steer him away from danger and toward a better path. All I wanted was for him to be as good as he could be. The best him that he could be. All I wanted was to give him a push in the right direction. And at the end of the day, when I first thought of it, all I really wanted for him was to stop crying so much. Well, there it is, the cause of all my tears and all of my wife's rage. I think in his letter to her, he told her what I had done. She burned it, so I can't be sure, but she came after me with a pair of scissors just after reading it. So he must have told her something. She's downstairs now in the basement. It's strange. While I was writing, I hardly heard her. But now that I'm almost done, her cries and screams are almost overwhelming. She blames me for what happened to our son, for what he did to himself. But she'll understand my point of view in time. When she wakes up from surgery, she'll learn to forgive me.
Fuck, man. That's...
Fuck!
God damn, dude.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good story.
Oh.
That was a really fucked up. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is super fucked up and well read, bro. Well read.
Yeah,
Good job.
Matt, make a channel where you read creepypastas.
I've actually thought about that before.
Well, do it. That was actually really good.
Oh, God.
Mega is still suffering.
Meg is like suffering like really bad sex disorder or something.
You know what? That's fucking scary. That's fucking scary.
No, that's like plain mess. That's not even scary. That's like plain messed up. Holy shit.
I can't even imagine what the fucking comment section must be for that. That's a Reddit post, right?
No, that was a creepypasta.
Yeah.
Oh, it's creepypasta. Fuck. Oh my god.
Mega, do you just live on Reddit?
No, but I mean,
I'm actually curious. Let's look at the comments. Let's look at the comments.
Yeah, please.
Let's see here.
Fucking.
I gotta scroll all the way down because that was a long ass story. But I think it was worth it.
Mine's shorter and but it's not gonna fucking top that. I'm never gonna forget that.
The first comment says bone deep wariness. That's a good one. This pasta overloaded my brain. Just amazing. 10 out of 10. When she wakes up from the surgery, she'll learn to forgive me. Oh my god! Love that last bit. I was feeling pity for the dad all through it. But in the end, you just flipped the table, dude. Creepy. One can easily miss that surgery part. Yeah, when I saw the ending, just to find the ending, I read that last part to make sure it was the ending, but it said surgery. I'm like thinking, oh no, the wife got hurt somehow. No! That was a fantastic story. Like, hold on. I need a credit.
That was good.
But I hope to fucking God it's not true.
Oh, I hope it's not. But I'm going to credit the person. Hold on. I have to credit the person. That was
credit
great.
the person, please.
That was great writing. Hold on. Where is this?
Oh my fucking God.
Does it tell me his name?
That could be a fucking movie.
That could be a fucking movie.
Yeah, it could be. For real.
Like, like
Velocity,
Hollywood.
are
The credit. Oh, it is actually from Reddit, but credit Robert Kilmartin.
Jesus.
That's a real name.
Yeah, that's
It's
real
only
name.
somewhat related
Apparently.
to
I feel like that's what we need to do for every podcast is that one really funny long story, one creepypasta.
I found someone who thought Suicide Squidward was real.
Oh, the last
All right.
episode one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I want to read mine quickly. It's not a long one, but this is apparently 11 hours ago. So this is actually
shit, okay.
So this is actually a recent one. So this is on r/no sleep, which is kind of like creepypasta, but
It's just scary stories, right?
more like scary stories that may be possibly true. So
Yeah.
okay, but I don't think this is gonna ever top that one that we just went over. So I'm just saying that now. But anyways, so this one by u/snowsit, I guess,
Okay.
on r/no sleep.
By the way, I
love
like how
my
you
old-
both. I like how you both like shit on me for picking such a long, boring story.
Well, no,
No,
I'm not kidding. I was just going like, I don't know. I'm getting a little.
story.
I was getting
I was like-
uncomfortable from reading it because this is like, oh god, this sounds like me when I got so stressed out with high school shit and all that. And then I was going like,
My whole thing was I feel like we should all just be like talking more rather than just reading the story. But you know, That's
yeah, I know, but
I wasn't talking about the story. The story was actually really good. It's just I didn't think.
yeah, I
it-
know.
wait,
We were all silent, just thinking. But honestly, it was so. I wanted to let all that shit out as soon as hearing that stuff. Like, oh my god. Okay, this one might have some reactions from everyone. So this is called "I Love My Old Cat" by
That does
Snowsit.
not sound good.
And keep this in mind. This was 11 hours ago. All right. Okay. My cat's name is Simba. He is an old one with his 14th birthday coming up here in April. He has the softest gray fur with black stripes and the most beautiful green eyes, in my opinion. His purrs are loud, and even if you are next room, you can still hear the soft purrs he makes. This happened about 4 years ago. It was beautiful outside. Wow.
It was beautiful outside.
That was so of course I put the little collar that I had bought for him around his neck. Not too tight, but enough so he couldn't slip out of it. Then I took him out in the garden, tied a little rope to his collar and tied it into a pipe, then ran it up to my house so he wouldn't run away like I always do when I take him out in the garden. I then sat down on the stairs and looked after him as he walked around and sniffed at everything. It was always enjoyable to just sit and watched him. But I was getting thirsty, so I went into the kitchen to get some water. As I was filling up a water bottle, I heard a high-pained meow. I dropped the bottle and ran out the door. What I saw is something I can never forget. There he was, little Simba, inside a dog's mouth. The dog had bitten him while he was laying on his back, so he had gotten a hold of his stomach. There was blood dripping from the dog's mouth and from Simba's stomach, a blood pool beginning to form on the ground while he was just hung there, looking like he didn't have an ounce of life left in him. I screamed. I screamed as I ran up to the dog and kicked it. I kicked it and heard a whine from it as I dropped my cat. Now he was just laying there, limp. I didn't care that the dog ran away. The only thing I cared about was my little Simba. I was standing, staring for what I felt like forever before I gently picked him up and brought him to my car. I'm pretty sure I sped all the way to the vet, but I didn't care. All I cared about was saving my baby. I felt like forever, but I reached the vet. When I did, I took Simba gently as I could, and I ran through the door panting and sobbing. They took him to surgery as fast as they could, and they did it. They saved my little baby. I took him to home afterward about 2 days. Wait, what? Hold on. I read that weird because this grammar is fucking sucks. It says, I too take him home after about 2 days. Those 2 days were the worst days of my life. I couldn't sleep, and my appetite was non-existent. When he came home, I got better, falling back into my normal eating routine and got enough sleep to be considered healthy again. Simba, however, was different. It was as if I got a completely different cat with me home. He wasn't moving nearly as much as he used, and he didn't meow his cute meows at me every time. I came out of my bedroom in the morning. He didn't even purr anymore. It was unsettling, but I learned to live with it. After all, he was still my little baby. As implied in the start of this post, I still have him with me, my little old kitty. Still sits in his favorite place in the window, staring at the people walking by. There's just one thing I don't understand. The people walking by will sometimes look at my windows at Simba. When they do, they tend to freeze and get this horrified expression as if they just saw their worst nightmare. I don't see why. The only thing that you can see from the window is Simba. I don't see why. Sure, he's lost a lot of weight since the incident, and he never moves from that spot. And sometimes it looks as if he isn't breathing, and he smells a lot. But he's just a normal cat. He is just my baby. And then that's it. That's literally it.
The cat's fucking dead.
I believe so. I believe that the cat is dead, and then this person is fucking crazy.
I don't. That wasn't really.
I mean, I'm creeped out, but I'm still reeling from the last one.
I mean, I feel like because the only scary part about it was that like over description of the gore.
The gore factor, yeah.
I really like Matt's story because it was like really creative.
Yeah, Matt's fucking story wins tonight, and I don't no more reading any more scary.
Matt wins. That's it.
Matt wins.
I win. What do I win?
Well done. You win.
Free ticket to.
You win a free Tim Hortons coffee in Canada.
Oh yeah.
You have to come find me though, because
Fuck shipping it.
yeah, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna ship you a coffee.
I'm gonna ship you a single cup of coffee.
God, it has mold and everything on it. Has anyone actually found since Justin wants to do a little bit more of talking, let's make this the longest podcast we've ever done.
Oh,
okay.
No, why not?
Because
Actually, if you want to trim some time, you can trim all those stories I read because those.
They sucked.
Yeah.
Well, now that we brought it up, we have to keep it.
Oh, son of a bitch! Well, you can trim this. I mean.
Well, no, I'm just gonna keep it. It doesn't matter.
Well,
okay.
Anyway, how long have we been recording?
An hour and a half.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, it felt longer because we were in here waiting for Treyas for a while.
Yeah. But anyway, no. So let's do some talking since Justin wants to do some talking. I appreciate some talking. We got some stories. Let's do some personal stories. I got a question for everybody. What is the most disgusting thing you have found that had like mold on it?
A fucking cracker.
Just food generally.
Well, yeah, I found a cracker.
Tell the story for it. Tell the story for it.
It's not really a story. I was cleaning my house and I looked behind the fridge and there's a fucking moldy piece of cracker with a fucking piece of salami on it that was green.
Ew. It went from red to green?
Yes. Okay, look, because I could tell it was either salami or pepperoni, basically the same thing, and because it had like the markings of a pepperoni or salami, but it was just fucking green.
Ew. Did you take a bite?
I think. I'm not trying to get AIDS and die.
You're not gonna get AIDS. You're just gonna get cancer.
Yeah. Well, look. Either way, I'm not doing it.
Okay, fair. How long do you think it was sitting back there?
Well, since it was completely green, probably like a year or so.
Ew.
I don't know.
I was expecting like a month.
I don't. Okay, maybe I don't know. It was green. How long does it take for food to turn green?
I don't know. What about you, Mega? Anything that you've found food related?
Found a cat rotting in my basement.
Well, I'm a dog owner. I'm allergic to cats, technically. So
I'm allergic to dogs and cats.
Jesus,
you
that
poor
sucks.
soul. I bet you have a hermit crab for a pet.
I fucking do.
Oh shit!
What? Wait, what's his name? What's his name?
They're not my crabs. They're my brothers. So
are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Take that out of context. Thank you. But wait, do you know what the name? Do they have names or no?
They do, but I can't remember them right now.
Oh, god damn it.
I bet it's Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob, and they fuck all the time.
In terms of a moldy story, I don't really have one. I don't really see mold that often. If I'm
Well, yeah, that's a good thing.
I see mold a lot, and all the stories of mold kind of blend together because, you know, I don't know. Once you do it like 100 times, you just forget the specifics.
yeah, I guess.
Just like
Yeah, I've got like animal stories though.
Oh, speak it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that would be great for me because I can share them too. I can actually share a really fun one, but I'll let you go first, Matt, since you're so
I got a couple.
Alright.
Well, if we're talking about like gross smells and stuff, there was a possum that like died under my house, and we had to like fish it out, and that was really lame. But
Ugh.
I think like the worst smell that I ever had was I was driving behind this truck, and it had it was like this wooden truck that it was carrying camels, and I don't know why the hell it was on like a Canadian highway. That didn't make any sense to me even at the time. But one of the camels just decided that he was gonna like shit, and then the shit it fell out and then onto the road, and then it went into my wheel well.
Oh no!
And it just sprayed everywhere. So then I went like into the car wash like 3 times, and it still smelled like shit. In the car, outside the car, like fucking everywhere. And I don't like you couldn't see the shit anymore, but clearly it was still somewhere. And yeah, it smelled for like the next week. It didn't go away.
Okay,
that's horrible.
Yeah.
That is terrible. Okay, wait. So are possums the animals that like to play dead?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they're opossums technically. Possums are in Australia.
Sorry to cut in, Meg. I have a really quick opossum story.
No, yeah, go on.
I was in like 4th grade, and we get off the bus, and there's a possum. There's a possum there. And he's just like, okay, for the record, it's a dead possum. It's just laying there, right?
All right.
And me and my friends were looking at it. We're like, so is it dead? And one of my friends goes, no. These things like to play dead. He's just scared. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I saw that in fucking Ice Age.
Oh yeah, the second one.
Now this next part's terrible.
Oh no.
So my third friend just fucking smashes his book bag on him.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I'm not him.
I know. I'm just saying. Out of why the fuck?
Look. Here's how it went. I went, oh yeah, that makes sense. Splat. And he picked up his backpack and was like, oh, I guess it's dead.
Oh.
Why? What the fuck?
That is fucked up. That's like animal killing.
I don't
Why
know.
would you do that?
Dude, some people just like to hurt animals. It's weird. Like I knew, like when I was going to high school,
they can fucking die.
Yeah.
People who think it's like they can fucking die.
There was a group of people at my high school that like every year like they would religiously like kick birds.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, I know. It was like it's fucked up. I don't know why they did it. It always kind of bothered me. And there was like I don't know. I guess I just enjoyed like hurting birds. It was weird because like like how birds, like when they're too near humans, like hot dog stands and shit.
Oh well, yeah. Well then
they would just walk around and eat shit, and then yeah, it's annoying. But like people like they would make a point of like every year when it turned into summer, they would just like kick the birds, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like they would kill some of them.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's fucked up. Like if they're just doing their natural, don't around.
The thing that bothered me about that is because like they made it like a thing, like they made it a point to hurt the animals.
Yeah, I know it's fucked up.
Yeah, if you just happen to hurt an animal, it whatever. But like
if
when
it's
you
an
like
accident,
set
yeah.
out to cause pain to an animal, it's like, dude, stop it.
You can't like have like a tradition of hurting animals. That's fucked up.
So is duck hunting a bad thing?
No,
no. In this, I mean, this is
here's the thing. Like, if you're hunting an animal to like eat it, that's different, right?
Yeah. If you're just doing it out of like some sick form of pleasure, which by the way, if you do that, that's like one step to becoming a serial killer. If you're enjoying.
Well, that's if you like to like torture the creatures. If you just like.
That was another thing too. They didn't like just kill them because they were trying to kill them. They killed them because they seemed to like enjoy the suffering or whatever.
Yeah,
Matt,
so that's
Yeah.
step to becoming a serial.
Matt Wong,
killer.
did you just like know a
Jeez.
bunch of serial killers in the making?
Yeah, they might. I don't know what happened to them after high school. Like, I didn't hang out with them much. I just kind of knew about the thing that they did, and I was like, "That's fucked up. I'm not gonna hang out with you."
That fucking shit with the possums scarred me
Yeah.
for fucking life.
There was
Okay, well-
there was a story with like an opossum that I had. Like I had a pretty big backyard in the house that I grew up in, and and it was such a big backyard that it had its own like garden pond area, and then it had like a back area where that was sectioned off with a gate that was big and circular and trees everywhere, and then there was another fenced off part that you could also get to, but it was also just completely covered with vines and shit. It was basically a forest in my own backyard,
Right.
except it was in Portland, which is like the most non-forest you can get. But anyway, I walked out into the backyard, and we lived in a pretty bad neighborhood, so I couldn't go play outside in the front. I went to go play in the back, and I found this, like I don't know what I was doing, probably playing with like lightsabers or something, and I found this white rat, and I was like, I think it's dead. That is not my sister's stuffed animal. That is a rat.
You should have picked it up and given it to her. Hey, Billy, look, I found it.
But then I go back inside and tell my parents, I'm like going, there's a dead rat or something, and they're like, okay, we'll go clean it up later. And I go back outside, it's gone. I'm like, oh, okay. So I start walking back into my back door, and I start hearing.
Oh god.
And I'm like, fuck is that? And I hear it, and it's right behind this fence with a whole bunch of bushes, and I'm hearing it like, and I'm scanning. Like, remember that scene with Norman Osborn in the first Spider-Man where he's scanning the walls for the mask?
Oh yeah.
That's basically me when I'm looking through this bush, and then I see black beady eyes, white face, just staring at me, going.
Fucking zombie rat.
That's fucking creepy.
And I ran back inside. I was like, fuck that. And that's pretty much my possum story.
Yeah, well, opossums do hiss. I've actually encountered one that did hiss at me a bit. So yeah, they're really creepy when they hiss.
They're creepy like period.
Yeah.
Play dead. Fuck you.
But yeah, on a bit of a lighter tone story, since we quite a lot of dark animal tales and stuff.
Yeah, this is
something that kind of like happened actually
quite
a few. Something that actually happened a few months back. So this is almost quite recent. Of course I have. All right, so I have 2 dogs currently. I had another one that was a Labrador, passed away sadly quite a while back. But around the time that she was still alive, and then of course my other dog is a Ridgeback. No, so I have 2 Ridgebacks now, and then I had a Labrador before. So Eiley, her name is, stuff. She likes swimming, so we have a pool back, but also behind that, because we have like one of those pool closures, like, to keep mosquitoes out, since Florida's full of the fuckers. And so behind that, though, there is actually a lake that we have in our backyard. It's a very nice lake, and people sometimes like to kayak out there. On occasion, I like to. And so we basically, it's also the area that, of course, we take our dogs out sometimes, like whenever they need to like do their business and all that. So it was one day where basically I was alone in the house, so my parents were out, so it was just me and the dogs and stuff. And so it's like, okay, yep, when they need to go, they need to go. So I was just basically taking them out. So at this point, when I took them out, we have these muscovy ducks that come around and stuff. And of course, with my Labradors, both a Ridgeback and a Labrador are both part of the same species, part of the same branch of hound hunting dogs, essentially. With Labradors, of course, being used to hunt ducks, and Ridgebacks actually being used to hunt lions in Africa. Actually, a true thing. So my Labrador didn't see the ducks. Eiley, on the other hand, the Ridgeback, saw them. So she charges right for them, and the ducks actually fly out into the center of the lake. She fucking jumps into the lake. Well, and I was like at a distance and stuff, and I was trying to call her back, trying to tell her to stop going after the ducks. She fucking jumps into the lake and swims all the way fucking out to try to catch the fucking ducks in the middle of a lake, which I don't know how deep it is, but it is pretty fucking deep when you consider it and stuff. So it's just like, if she were to run out of energy there, she would have drowned. And I ran out of my house. So I put my other dog inside and stuff, so that way she would stay inside. I fucking ran out to try to call her to come back, and when because the thing is, she did make it to the center of the lake, but of course, again, the ducks moved. She kept fucking them. And then here's me running on the side of the fucking bank, just trying to catch this screaming at this point. I'm screaming, Eileen, get back here right fucking now. And of course, again, no.
You know, at that point, you just fucking jump in the water, swim after her.
But that's the thing, is that I didn't know what was in there, because sometimes there's like shit in there that you just don't want to go after. There's like snapping turtles and all that. It actually does happen, and plus there's also sometimes glass and sharp shit.
Wait, Mega. How? So are we talking about like the little small snapping turtles, or are we talking about like one of the big ones?
Some of the small ones, like the kind of small.
Okay, here's what you should have done. You should have found a really big snapping turtle, fucking rode it to save your dog.
Oh my god! But it's just like there was. Like, I did think I was eventually going to have to jump in to get to her, but thank God she gave up, and she finally swam all the way fucking back. But by the time she got probably the best exercise of the day, and so she was so worn out, but man, did I have to, like, wash. She stank from all that lake water, but man. Of course, I had a big laugh about it when I told my mom about it. Like, I called her immediately just to tell her, like, what the fuck happened and all that. And she was laughing on the other side of the... And you want to know what the worst part is? A few days later, it fucking happened again. She did it again, but this time my mom was actually present. Time and all that.
Look, the dog just didn't know what was wrong. He's just like, I'm swimming.
Yeah, well, she was going after the ducks. Again, she's just...
I'm gonna fucking get one of those ducks.
Exactly. And stuff. Yeah, and so it's just, when the second time it happened, I just saw that she went after the ducks, and she fucking like again, but this time she actually came back earlier this time. Mom was like cross about it, so...
Completely unrelated. Have you guys ever like had duck? Like, have you ever ate a duck?
Yes.
I'm Chinese, and that's like a big thing with the Chinese. So yeah, I've had duck.
I've never had duck.
Am I the? Yeah, I haven't either. Like, Koreans, we only eat like beef.
Well, this is my first podcast.
Yeah, I guess.
Diversity.
That was racist. Oh fuck.
Well, but there was also another animal story that happened in when I did go to Australia. And
you went to Australia?
Yeah, I've been there twice. The first time I went was 2007.
The majority of my cast is from Australia, so that.
Well, it's amazing place. But so we did this one thing in which we went to the outback, and there was actually this place where we did ride camels and stuff. I was riding with my mother since I was pretty young at the time.
What is it with all these things with camels? Are camels just like more common than I fucking expected?
No, like that was like the only time I've ever seen camels. in my country.
Well, honestly, I think camels are secretly just big cunts, essentially, because this one in particular, which by the way, I do not recommend riding a fucking camel. As awesome as it sounds, it actually hurts your nuts. So
Doesn't sound cool. It's a fucking thing with 2 bumps on its ass.
well, no, the
On
ones
its
in
front,
Australia
right.
actually. That's the interesting thing.
Oh.
Like there are some that have double humps, but that's in other countries. But in Australia, they're single humps. But so there was this one freaking camel that was ridden by someone else. We actually remembered the name of this thing. His name was Basil. So
Basil?
a camel named Basil.
Raggle faggle,
And
motherfucker.
And he liked to bite my mom's ass many times.
What the fuck?
The whole thing. So my mom said that she felt really sharp pains every fucking time that we were moving around because the group of camels we were riding pretty much in a sort of unison, and apparently this fucking camel Basil just kept biting on my mom's ass. Every
Fucking
time.
camel just wanted some ass. Come on.
Yeah,
Leave
but
it alone.
Yeah, but it hurts.
Like, look, maybe he could have been a little bit more gentle. Like maybe he should have bought her like some flowers. You know, maybe things could turn out differently.
Oh jeez, we had such a great. We have pictures, and it's like you can fucking see, you can tell which one's Basil by the way that he looks at the fucking camera. No, like he's looking at it. He's looking at it.
So we have 2 people with 2 negative experiences with the camel.
I'm telling you, camels are cunts. I believe. I mean, they are smart. They are pretty unbelievably smart.
I feel like mine just had to take a shit, to be honest.
Yours had to take a shit.
Yours was
to bite my
constipated.
mother's ass.
Yeah.
Wait, Matt Wong's camel was constipated and Mega's was sexually frustrated.
Blue balled.
Blue ball.
Look, I've never had an experience with like an animal that's not like a normal animal. I get like the closest, like deers are pretty normal in America and pretty much everywhere, I am assuming.
Is that the proper term? Deers or deer?
Whatever.
I thought it was deer.
I thought it was
whatever.
deer. I've never heard deers.
Look, I don't. Shut up.
All right, Kirby.
Anyway. Anyway, my only experience with an animal that's not normal is deer, right? And they're pretty normal too. But either way, so we were
Call
driving back
stupidity
from
normal.
a beach, and it was like, we were driving back from a beach, and there was like a forest. So we had to drive through like a really heavily wooded area, right? Like we had the signs where it's like, deer crossing, be careful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed the sign. I'm like, hey, Dad, you think we might see a deer? Dad's like, no, probably not. We fucking hit a deer.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst.
That's the best timing.
We didn't kill it. He got up and left. But like,
Oh, thank God. Oh,
It-
my God. It's so good to hear that.
it was just like, my mom was so mad at my dad. My dad was like, damn it. And I was like, what? He was like, it's alive. We could have ate that.
Oh,
The primitive instinct of humans. Damn it, we could have eaten that.
I've had some pretty amazing encounters with animals because I've traveled just to so many places, and it's just
Now I
always
want
seems to have been me. I've traveled to so many places, met and encountered many different animals and stuff.
Also
like
eaten many different
yes, that's
I
actually
still
true.
yet. I have still yet to eat elk.
If I
I feel like most animals just taste like chicken, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, you compare everything to chicken. You
Well,
like,
actually-
I've heard that. I heard that
It's actually
venison,
funny.
like venison, is like it tastes like steak, but it's gamier, so it's like it's chewier.
It is gaming, yeah.
It's like lean steak, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're actually not wrong. So okay, here's another sort of thing. I actually did go to Africa at one point,
What?
Yes.
Mega, where have you been?
Dude, how many places have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll list off some of the places I've been to. So, of course, so I've been to South America not long ago. I went to Ecuador to go to the Galapagos Islands, which was part of one of my college trips and all that, because we literally had a class dedicated to the Galapagos Islands. So I went there. That was in 2017. I've been to Europe because I have family there, but also I have a heritage there since I'm also part Scottish. I know that we do have a family
Scotsman.
line. That's there.
I'm part Scotland too.
Well, it's why I can do the Scotland accents pretty well in voice acting and stuff. It's
the thing is, I can do an Irish accent really well, but I'm not Irish at all.
Well, Mega, whenever you voice Butler, everyone's like, "Oh, he sounds like he's Scottish."
Everyone thinks that I sound fucking French Scottish every time, but you know.
Merci beaucoup, you fucker.
But yeah, so I've been to several countries, and then I've been to Australia twice. I haven't been anywhere to Asia, and I've only been to Africa once, where I went to 4 countries. I went to South Africa, Zambia, Botswana.
And wait, Mega, okay, what country do you live in?
So I live in Florida.
Okay.
He lives in
I was born in
Megalodon
Canada.
country.
He lives under the ocean, duh.
Technically, you're not
Under the sea.
because the areas that I'm in is where you find megalodon teeth and stuff. If you're
Jesus Christ,
lucky.
Mega. I like when you say you traveled a lot. I assumed it's like, oh yeah, you Australia like twice. No, you fucking been everywhere.
Yeah, I've been to like America like a couple times.
I've been to like one other state in America.
Well, I don't really normally talk about it much and stuff because, again, I don't feel like I'm bragging or anything because I don't want to, because I respect all the places I went to. They were some really amazing experiences. If people like to listen to my story about, it's happy. But yeah, and Africa especially was probably my favorite trips of all time. And we definitely tried the most food there. There's a lot of unique and exotic food that you can have there. Can't really have anywhere else. And one of the things was having ostrich. That was quite an experience.
More burgers.
Yes.
You know what? I think honestly that's probably the have to, but like the way that they prepared ostrich was like they had ostrich gazpacho. Gazpacho, yeah. They had ostrich gazpacho. They had different ways of cooking things. They also had zebra steak, which I actually tried. I just heard something.
That sounds so like taboo over here, but in other countries it's
Well,
not.
yeah, you would think. Well, you would think, obviously, but over there they obviously farm stuff.
If you're hungry, you just eat what you eat. You know how it is.
I did also try.
I bet PETA would never survive in Africa.
No, they would not. Especially when
they're like, we're gonna save all the animals.
Oh my god!
You can't even save humans in Africa. Okay.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
shit!
Oh. Dude.
Okay, that sounded worse than I thought it did before I said it.
It definitely did. Especially,
I'm finding this way more funny than I should.
Well, because the places
it was perfect though.
The 4 countries I went to were perfect. Like, because we all know that Africa just has its countries that are not really in the best states at this moment. But the places I went to were the safest places to go to, but they were also the most wonderful as well. The people are beautiful. I mean, like, just amazing, friendly individuals and stuff.
Which means that he found a whole lot of hot women, and he was like, "Damn it, can't get you."
No,
yo,
no, dude.
But yeah, I genuinely feel bad because, like, I don't know, like being born in Africa, like especially like the rougher places in Africa is like it's just a rough run.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah. There was
there.
Oh yeah. Even in the countries I went to, there was
Poverty.
There was poverty. I mean, especially in South Africa. I arrived in so of course I went to Cape Town, which is like that's where the Cape of Good Hope is. That's like the very tip of Africa at the bottom. But before that, I had to go through Johannesburg, through the airport and stuff like that. And the city of Johannesburg, that's also the place where the sheds are. If you ever seen District 9, you know all the movie District 9. You know where there's all those shed things that the aliens live in, and all that.
It's shack houses.
I didn't watch
basically.
this.
It's just all shack houses. It's what you view as poverty.
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally just it's almost miles of when you go outside of Johannesburg. This type of barbed wire with fucking blades on them and all that kind of like just it blocks off the roads. It's just like, oh my god, that was definitely the darker part of Africa that I saw there. That, and of course you really have to the airports. You cannot look at any one of the TSA people in the eye.
Why? What are they gonna do?
Well, considering that some of them they don't really trust the white people in this case. Yeah. So yeah, not even joking.
Is it like American? Is it like how America is but reversed?
Essentially, pretty much. Yeah, it's the exact same.
Am I going too far with my jokes? I'll stop.
No, it's not
no, you're not far.
I feel like we've already gone too far.
We've got.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
he's honest speaking truth, just from.
We're gonna try to make things more lighthearted. What's the weirdest thing you guys have ever eaten? Well, I know Mega's answer.
Well, I mean, so besides, I did try crocodile when.
Oh wow, how'd that taste?
That's not that weird.
Okay, so
different.
I don't remember exactly how it tasted, but it was a mix of fish and then steak, if that makes any sense. Like different,
weird.
like a fishy, steaky taste and stuff. But it was really good.
It's surf and turf, but like in one animal.
It essentially, yeah, and stuff. It was a.
So basically, a prostitute.
Thing.
Man, I don't know what kind of
I don't even know how that made any sense.
I don't even know how that made.
I stopped halfway through. I'm like, it's too late.
I think it was like a joke of like them having like a fishy vagina, but I don't know where the steak part came in.
You said it, not me.
Jeez.
But I'm sorry, that was terrible.
So Matt, so one of the Matts, what's the weirdest thing you guys have eaten?
Yeah.
Calamari.
Squid?
Really?
I'm not.
Calamari.
I was very, very picky as a kid.
I mean.
Oh, okay. So,
I mean, I'm Korean. We eat squid a lot.
I didn't like it.
I used
period.
to cook
the thing is,
calamari.
The thing is that when we went down to we went to a seafood place, but it would serve burgers, and I was like 10, and gave us a basket of calamari, and my dad wants us to try it. Wants me and my sister to try it, and the thing is that like I try it and I didn't like it. My dad didn't tell me what it was. That was the trick for me to try things. So I tried it and I didn't like it. Period. And then he tells me what it was, and I said, "Oh, I'm glad I didn't like it then." And then he says, "Don't tell your sister," because apparently my sister was eating it like it was candy.
Oh no!
And
well, I say oh no, but I eat squid a lot.
And so then my dad says, "You know what that is?" And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Squid." And she's like, and it was quite funny. But then like as she got older, she kind of has the same view as my dad, because my dad also has a story of like he loves Polish sausage. All right, he loves it. It has a great texture and everything. He loves it. But however, shut up. The thing is that he looked at the contents of what's inside of it, and one of them was cow tongue.
Ugh. Oh,
and he's like, "Nope, I'm done." And then after a couple of years, he was like, "Why the fuck do I care? I like it."
Yeah.
And so he eats it, and he just doesn't care. And
I like how that was enough to cause him to stop eating it for a while.
I mean, it's a part of the animal. Like you eat like beef all the time, so like you might as well just make what are you gonna do? Like throw away all the tongues?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of curious on what Beef tongue.
I've actually eaten a beef tongue. I've eaten it
Oh,
many
really?
times.
What's
Yeah.
it like? Like, I'm curious. Like, what's the texture like?
It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of,
It's tongue.
I guess it's soft-ish. I guess kind of like veal, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I need to try veal.
Would that be like the weirdest thing?
I
you've eaten,
need
Matt?
to try
I've had
more
snails.
meat.
I've eaten a lot of different stuff actually.
Me as
If
well.
you want me to list it, I don't know.
Well, what's your
I mean,
weirdest one?
So I've eaten beef tongue. I actually started eating that when I was a kid because my grandfather he came from Hong Kong and he just bought beef tongues and I was like I didn't know what it was at the time, so I was just like, I'll just eat it. It's just a piece of meat, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that seemed pretty normal to me. I had frog a couple times. To be honest, tastes a lot like chicken.
I guess we can.
Smaller.
I guess we can probably blame
Verifying your theory
Canada
already,
for
Matt.
that and blame the French.
Hey.
I don't know, like I don't want to buy frog.
He lives in
anymore,
a province that's pretty high on French occupation.
Well, that would be Quebec, Ontario.
You lost
I
your-
don't-
you
I
lost
wasn't
your
born in-
confidence so far.
Yeah.
While saying that, Matt, he was like, "Well, he's
Yeah, but no, frog. I don't like eating frog though because it seems like you're not getting a lot for like the animal. You know, it's just
That's fair. I've
Yeah,
had
and,
frog legs, so I know.
there's not a lot there, and so I kind of feel
No.
bad about that. But I've also had all the kinds of sea animals, you know, like squid and octopus and
never had
all kinds of fish.
I had octopus once. It was just really cheap.
Yeah, octopus is pretty chewy. Yeah, it's
I had some trip and stuff, and the spices that they put it in were pretty great, honestly.
like if they do a
everyone
good
else
job
here is more
preparing it.
exotic than I am, and I'm just going to be quiet, going like, yeah, all I had, the weirdest thing I had was calamari,
Yeah, you ate squid. I'm just like, I
which
ate
is
squid.
pretty Americanized.
Yeah.
Very Americanized.
Dude, I fucking ate a shark.
You ate a shark.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
yeah.
what type? What type are we talking?
I don't know. It was just.
He ate
Okay.
your brother Megalodon.
Oh, I didn't even make the connection.
That's
Okay, look, all that
I wonder-
happened. So I was
catch up.
upstairs cooking like I don't know, like grilled cheese or something. This happened like 2 years ago. And while I'm
Okay.
cooking, my Korean grandfather, he doesn't really speak English, right?
okay.
He opens the back door. I'm like, hey, what's good? Like, then he has like a trash bag with him, and he just flops it on the table. I'm like, what's that? And like I'm like, oh, that smells disgusting, because like like with sharks, sharks like to people think that like when you ferment a shark, it tastes better for some reason.
Oh, that's because I think what he may have given you.
Ugh.
Because
Well,
there is a thing that they do in some places. So the Greenland shark is a type of species that people actually do catch and eat. But the thing is that Greenland sharks, their flesh is actually toxic. And the only way to get rid of that toxic is that they actually let it decay and rot.
Yeah, that might be. I don't know if it's exactly that, because like it didn't look decayed or rotten when he pulled out the. Okay, because like I smelt it. I'm like, what is that? And then he moves the trash bag. It's just a whole baby, not a baby, maybe. It was just a whole shark. I'm like, what is this? You just open the door on a Wednesday night, bring home a shark? Oh my god! It tasted like. Have you guys had sushi before?
Oh yeah,
raw
plenty
fish?
of times.
No, that's sushi.
I've
Yeah, it had like the
never
texture
had
of like
sushi. I don't like sushi.
Matt. You're like the definition of like.
A true American.
Fuck you. Wait a minute. No. Yeah. Fuck yes. No. I'm American.
America.
Fuck yeah.
But like it had the texture of just like a normal like a salmon, kind of like a raw salmon. But like
Oh.
the smell ruined anything, any
Oh.
possibility of me enjoying it. Okay, never do that.
Oh god. I have actually had a shark once. There was
Cannibalism.
Well, to be fair, this was actually
It was a
before I
different
even
species.
had
It's okay.
no. I was before I even had the name. So,
Oh, you
this
weren't a
was-
shark yet.
Yes. stuff. I wasn't deemed knighted as one yet. But so in Florida, we have in certain parts there is this species of small shark called bonnet sharks, and you can actually fish them. They're kind of like bonnet head sharks are kind of like a cousin to the hammerheads. They're actually very similar when you look at them, but except of the hammer portion, they actually kind of like a little like shovel. They almost look like shovel heads.
Okay.
And so
Sounds
you
like they
could
had a
actually
really bad
catch
day in
them.
a cartoon set.
Yeah. So yeah, we caught them, and we actually did have the choice to actually eat them, and we did. Actually, pretty good and stuff.
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite an interesting shark, but man, are they strong for small sharks? No, that's incredible.
I commented this on I forget which. Fuck. I commented this on one of the podcast episodes. I'm like, I love how this podcast ranges from serious discussions about Halo or whatever the topic of the day is, to just random shit posts.
Yeah, this one has been quite something, especially with the scary stories.
We kind of just like hopped all over the place.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't mind
yeah.
that. I don't mind that because like those are
Yeah,
like,
it was fun.
I like those type of podcasts like where they just like talk about
Like
their stories.
scheduled and all that.
Yeah, they just
Like,
they schedule it to like, okay, this is the time we're gonna have the podcast. We're gonna talk about I don't know.
How was your day?
Yeah, how was your day? How's
Yeah.
your daughter? How's your wife? How's your life?
Well, I retold some traumatic life stories for myself. Pretty successful.
I'm sure mine, except although of course I definitely can go in depth for some of them and all that, but I think I would leave some of those for another time though.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of in-depth stuff with some of the places I've been to for sure. All that, just like some of the
Well,
interesting.
I think we kind of interrupted you there. Actually, you kind of like talking about it. Yeah. Sorry about that.
We apologize.
Yeah.
Nah, you're fine. Yeah, totally fine. Although, actually, I do have an interesting thing because this is is part of something that did happen on one of my trips. Did you guys ever have a sort of injury that has happened to you that is bug related? A bug experience?
Yeah, no, actually.
I want to hear your guys' one.
I don't
I
have
want
one. Like, I've
that
never
happened.
been stung by a bee.
I have 2 stories.
All right, let's hear it.
One, I'll do the one that's kind of normal because I was stupid.
Okay.
I went on a camping trip with my grandparents, and this was years ago. And I was hanging out with the kids that were around my age, but they were related to my grandparents in some way. And we were running around in this like back area that was kind of like, it wasn't closed off, but it wasn't somewhere you could park your trailer. And so saw this little nest. Looked like a little hill kind of thing. And I was actually a little smart and not to kick it, but the kids around me decided to kick it, and I was guilty from accomplice, and so they charged us. It was Yellow Jackets, and and they charged us. They were all around. Now, like it wasn't like a big swarm. But there were definitely, I'd say about maybe 20 woke up, or 30, and they started charging us. And one of them stung me on my arm, but I didn't really feel it until after, and it just started feeling like hurt. But the thing is, what scared me was because I took over my mom when I was younger. When it came down to illnesses, or not illnesses, but getting sick easily or having her allergies. Because I was allergic to green bell peppers. And
really?
Oh, wow.
Not like super allergic. I never have a huge allergy where it closes up my throat or anything. It just starts a rash on my face or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that bad. But I kind of took over my mom like that when I was younger, and she had a big allergy for Yellow Jackets. So it scared the shit out of me.
My mother does too for either Yellow Jackets or bees.
So one of them stung me. My arm didn't swell up or anything. It just got a little red and maybe a little swollen because of its puncture. And then we put ointment on it, and it hurt throughout the night. But then I woke up and it didn't hurt anymore. So I was like, "Yay!" Yeah. And the second story, it's a little bit more disgusting.
But yeah, it's just one slight thing on the say they're fucking terrible, and I know that because I was actually stung in the face as a baby by two yellow jackets.
Let me just flex my not being stung by a bee or wasp or anything like that.
Oh, believe me, you will.
That's right, anyway, whenever I was younger,
so Matt, what's your second one?
My second one was I was very prone to ear infections when I was younger, earwax, whatever.
Oh no!
Yeah,
those suck.
Yeah, there was apparently a tick in my ear.
Oh, that's like the worst thing.
Oh Jesus!
There was like a bug or something in my ear. It was from what my mom, because my mom would like lay me down on the bed or something, and just like have like a Q-tip or some sort of like metal thing that would dig into my ear. So I'm laying there, and she said something's moving.
Oh no! That's the worst thing. That's the worst kind of response you would ever.
I know. And then she the thing is that like she would it was under my skin, and so she presses on it. She's like, it's moving. And so, but then that's
when you scream.
But then she like. I don't know. I don't remember what she did, but like it ultimately she got it out, and I've always had like ear infections, but like as I got older, I think I stopped having ear infections when I turned 16, and I never had any sort of earwax problem ever again.
Hey,
and
Matt,
nor bugs.
Worse? Matt, you know what'd be worse? You had a yellow jacket in your ear.
That was born ever since it got stung.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so my worst one. So as much as the yellow jacket thing that happened when I was a baby was the worst, it wasn't the immediate worst. The immediate worst is actually what happened at the very end of my Africa trip. So our last country of visit, where we spent 3 days.
You got bit by a fire
ant. Actually, there are no fire ants in Namibia. So.
Well, I was just kind of thinking of Indiana Jones, but that wasn't based in Africa.
No, it wasn't. That's in South America.
Yeah.
South America's got a lot of really horrible bugs, though.
Oh yeah, they do.
Well, you might think Africa might be too after this, but though of course Australia. The one thing I should is that in both Africa and Australia, when you go when it's summertime here, it's technically winter over there for them. So it's like you have to think opposite months and stuff. So the weather, of course, is that it does get pretty frigid at night and stuff, and it can be and night and mornings in both places and stuff can be very frigid. And then of course that kind of keeps most of the insects and the worst of the bugs away, but at the same time it also means you get to see more of the animals and stuff, like there are other animals and stuff, which we saw a lot of. But so in Namibia, which is a mostly desert like country and stuff, like with some of the tallest sand dunes in the world, it even has a sand dune that is taller than Mount Everest. Not joking. I actually tried to climb the fucking thing, couldn't even make it. But so we were staying at these lodges in Namibia, and some really beautiful lodges and stuff. I mean, I have pictures of the whole thing. But so one of the optional things that you could do at these lodges is that you could actually sleep on the roof under the stars, in which at night the stars were incredible.
How many people you think had sex on that roof?
I honestly, it would have been.
Hey, you said that it was frigid at night. Got to keep warm somehow.
Well, honestly, I don't know if that would have been possible. Of course, we were sleeping in sleeping bags.
Honey, do you hear that? I think there's a monkey on the.
all you hear is like a muffled going like, I like to move it.
Honestly, that wouldn't have surprised me, considering that in the previous country I was in, Botswana, we heard I had a fucking hippo brush against my tent.
What?
My tent.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
A fucking hippo?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. In Botswana, we went to 3 different camps. We each had our own various animal encounters and stuff. But so in the first one, my mother and I shared that one tent for the first camp. The rest of the camps I was basically in my own tent for, but it was the first one, and of course my first time in Africa, so it's like, yeah, you would be a little scared, and you just want to be with someone and all that. But so first we got back to our tent, and there was a fucking hippo that was right in front of our tent in the water.
So wait, so it was just a wild hippo just chilling.
A wild hippo just chilling and stuff. Of course, they are dangerous. They're actually considered the most dangerous animal in all of Africa. But it was just chilling. He didn't mind us. So when we went into our tent and stuff, but so as we were sleeping, we of course hear a shit ton of noises from the hippos, especially, and stuff, doing their little the noises that they do. But then we hear some weird noises, as if something was just brushing up and stuff. The same fucking hippo apparently actually brushed up against our freaking thing. So there was literally a shape coming through the wall of our tent and stuff. It's just like, its fat ass was just basically just rubbing against the tent walls. And
have you guys seen the meme where it's SpongeBob and she's phasing through metal, and you see his outline?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. Yeah, that's exactly. But I'm getting a little off topic. So back to Namibia and stuff, and sleeping on the roof and all that. So did it on the first night. So we spent 2 nights. It was 3 days and then 2 nights. So the first night it was pretty breezy and all that, and of course I slept on the roof, and again I was on my own one stuff. So it was very nice. It of course you're all warmed up in your little sleeping bag and all that, but you see the beautiful stars. So it was perfect. Then the last night came around. There was no wind. Now this is where the interesting thing was. So I slept peacefully. There was no wind. So at the same time, it wasn't that cold. Now, when I was woken up, which was relatively early, because of course we would have we had a morning flight technically from Namibia to get back to South Africa, and then long ass hours to get back home.
By a pterodactyl.
No, although honestly I would have preferred it more than this. My mom was panicking when she was trying to wake me up. And the reason for that is that she said my whole entire face was covered in blood.
Oh my god.
What?
I was confused because I didn't feel it. I didn't feel anything.
Just like, Mom, calm the fuck down.
Well, I was tired of shit, so I'm going like, what's going on? Although my face felt in so much pain, I had no fucking idea why.
So wait, so you just woke up? He's like, huh?
I woke up,
my god!
My mom's face. My mom was shocked, saying that I had blood all over me, and all that. And so it turned out. So first of all, we looked at so we went inside into the light. My face had been bitten by hundreds of fucking mosquitoes.
Oh no!
My whole face was covered in bites, and so the blood was apparently from me rolling over and killing the fucking mosquitoes that had their sacks full of blood, and that's why it was covered in blood.
Oh
it
my
was my
god!
Blood, but it was from the inside.
And you know what's worse is the fact that you're from that it was Africa mosquitoes.
Well,
those are the worst.
I realized that.
I had
now. Why would
no,
anyone be on the roof when there's a chance of a fucking African mosquito letting you be like, oh, hey, disease?
Because the thing is that when come out when there's cold winds, but that night on particular, none of us thought of that and stuff. So there was no wind, so that means it was perfect.
Dude, your mom probably thought you got stabbed or some shit.
That's exactly what she was thinking and stuff. It was And man, did my face fucking itch. It hurt so bad. I was literally crying from how much it hurt and stuff. It was like,
yeah,
it was
understandable. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Thank God it went away before we actually had to go to the fucking airport.
That would be a
and all
pain
that.
on the
But it was like I had so much shit put on me and all that. It's just like, oh my God. And I was still bleeding technically from areas that they did bite a lot and all that. And I just had mosquito dead bodies also all over my face and all over the freaking thing. It was like a horror show.
I bet the mosquitoes have a legend about you.
I'm pretty sure
the
they
Great
fucking
Destroyer.
They were like this. They were like the human blood sac has defeated our brethren. I will kill him when he returns to Namibia.
Oh my God.
But sir, why don't we just go suck the blood out of that village? Okay, let's do that.
Okay, let's do that.
I don't have.
So sorry to interrupt everyone. I gotta go now. So.
Well, I think this is a good time to just like kind of.
It's honestly a good time to start, but basically,
let's finish that.
It got better over time. It healed pretty quickly, thank God. And of course, it was thank the Lord that I was still taking malaria pills while I was over there, of course, just to be certain and all that. I had to take
you
more.
wouldn't be here right now.
I wouldn't be here right now and stuff. But yeah, it was.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Shit,
quite a way to end the trip in probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Nearly dying.
Nearly dying.
Being covered in fucking mosquitoes.
Dude, imagine it was like a horde of mosquitoes all in one attack to your face.
Yep, well, all over my fucking face, like literally my whole head.
Terrifying.
Oh my God!
If someone woke up and looked at your face, just see like an army of mosquitoes, just like.
That's literally what happened. Anyways, I think.
All right, this is a good time to end the podcast. Yeah.
Perfect place to end.
We lost two
We lost a lot of people.
Really long
Yeah, we lost 2 people. We lost Velocity. He was the last person to leave. He left a text in the chat saying that he had to go do something with his dad. And Lawman, self-explanatory.
Lawman.
But ultimately, that was Treyaz couldn't join. He said that he was home, but I didn't see the text until way after. So.
Well, he said that at like 11:50 or something, right?
Yeah.
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 So, but anyway, this was fun. It's always fun.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We will definitely meet up again next week. And
Hell yeah, my guy.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and of course, next time we meet, it's Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
If we do not call next week's podcast Endgame, I'm gonna slap someone.
You're gonna slap me because I'm the one that owns the fucking channel.
I'm gonna slap you, CEO.
I'm gonna name it Game End.
Oh, yeah.
I think this.
Anyways, have a brilliant
Good
night,
podcast.
fellas and viewers. Hope you enjoyed my stories, all of our stories, and hopefully that scary story.
All my stories were
keeps you
fucking
awake.
traumatic.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Later, guys.